Alright, that's enough. Pitching my stream to other people. Making sure everything looks good on the stream. Looks like it should be right. On OBS at least. Nothing important cut off. Alright, so we are at an important inflection point in the game. This is kind of why I stopped where I did. Here's a pretty decent command to know about. Control-O kind of gives you where you've gone and how far you've been in the game so far. So we've cleared Orc, Snake, we haven't cleared Slime. You can see 0 out of 5. We're at 2 of 3 of Elf, so this is like the next big burst of loot is Elf 3. Technically it says I've done Vaults 5, but that was only because I showed the ambush that happens in Vault 5, but we still haven't completed Vault 5, and you can tell by how many runes you have by going Shift 5, and it'll say I've only got 2 runes, Decaying and Serpent, Swamp and Snake. So I gotta get my 3rd rune, but there is no rune in Elf. Elf's just a good place for XP and loot. Usually more for spells, and I'm not a spellcaster, but there's usually some good gear in here too. Now, an important thing to note in this game is you're getting close to the end game at this point. The only places I really have left to do is complete Elf, get my 3rd rune, probably in Vaults, and then I gotta go through Depths, and then Zot. The final realm in the game is Zot, because we're not doing in-game content. So, the most important thing is when you get to the Ecumenical Temple, and if you can Control F search for Ecumenical Temple, it'll show you the statues of the in-game enemy, the most dangerous in-game enemy you got to deal with, which is the relative orb you've got. And I've got an Orb of Entropy. So I've actually never fought an Orb of Entropy. I've only got Orbs of Winter and Fire so far. So this is going to be my first Orb of Entropy run, though I have seen them in other people's games. And they do lots of negative damage, so if I check my resists, I've got no negative resists. I'm taking 100% damage from Entropy Orbs, and they do tons of damage. They also blast you with lots of things called Banes, which are like semi-permanent, or they're temporary, but you have to like fight to get them removed, downsides, and they're kind of random, and some Banes are really bad, some Banes are fine, right? My current situation is my resists are mediocre, like nothing to write home about, and I'm kind of using a Ring of Slaying and a basic Ring of Protection, so I hope to find some good rings, and looks like an amulet that's only here for resist poison, which is pretty mediocre as well. So what I would like to do is see if I have any resist negative sitting on the floor, so you can just Control F, RN, which is like shorthand for resist negative. This will show you everything. Oh, that's actually anything with RN in it. So Control F, RN plus will show you anything with resist negative on it. So I am carrying this amulet that gives me +2 resist negative, but it does give me harm as well, which is like it turns you into a glass cannon. You do more damage, but you take more damage. That's pretty risky. I don't want to use any light armor, so this is out of this robe and this leather armor out of the question. And same thing with the scale mail, because you still need to have high armor class going into the late game on a melee character like this. I do have this 3 resist negative ring, but it costs 7,000 gold. That must be in the Gozag shop. Same thing with this robe. I do have a regular resist negative ring kind of hanging on the floor. I could replace my resist cold ring with that if I can find some other resist cold. And I have this cloak, which is giving me resist poison, resist negative. That would let me swap my amulet. And what's my cloak doing right now? My cloak is currently my only source of resist electricity and willpower. And see invisibility is nifty. And it's a +2, so it's even giving me more AC than that cloak would. So I would both need a source of resist electricity and a source of willpower to swap those out. So these are the things you have to juggle. Like, okay, I need these things, right? In fact, I eventually get my other resist up. You know, I could trade Slaying for willpower with this willpower ring I've been toting around, right? Anyhow, let's go clear Elf 3. And once I clear Elf 3, I'll have a better idea of what I need. Shapeshifter. Yeah, these guys just kind of teleport. They change into different forms, and it's kind of annoying because I get like the max hit point value every time they transform. Oh, here's a shop. Okay, I have something interesting in here. Nope. There's a dancing weapon. These are all just kind of typical elf enemies. There is going to be a point where it's kind of obvious. Ooh, oh, that was a shapeshifter. I saw a pig. Pig's usually Cersei, but no Cersei this time. There's going to be a point that's kind of obvious to the end vault, like the super highly protective, dangerous, loot-heavy area of Elf 3. I'm currently hoping to find a brand weapon scroll too, because I'd like to enchant up this Evening Star if I can get a better brand on it. Protection isn't bad, but I'd like to do more damage. I don't need spells, so that bookstore is irrelevant to me. Oh, Arachne's pretty dangerous. So she like has a bunch of orb fighters who shoot this super high damage orb at you, and she herself is like she can throw super powerful poison damage at you, blink around, and ensnare you. So I'm going to turn this corner so these orb spiders can't hit me nearly as easily. Can't you see invisible? So she can see invisible. Can the orb spiders? Nope. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pop an invisibility potion so they don't know where to shoot their orbs of destruction as easily. Let her come around the corner. What's a good dart, Derek? Good to see you. I'm going to throw a javelin at her. Kind of get her attention. Go back around the corner. I can throw a javelin again. Javelin's pierce, so you kind of throw them through two enemies. So I am throwing them into water here, which is kind of dumb. So now I can attack because we're in melee here. But she might blink away. There she goes. I can kill this orb spider while I'm standing here. And I can throw some boomerangs at her. It's good to have ranged options for exactly for characters, enemies like Arachne, like that. Alright, now we can okay, so you see these interestingly flavored wall tiles. This is kind of giving me in-vault vibes, so I'm going to clear around it before I commit to going into the super dangerous part, because you don't want to have to retreat away from that and then go into a bunch of enemies who are behind you. That's like the general rules. Like, clear out around the dangerous area so you have places to retreat to. Another orb spider, but that's another shapeshifter. A lot of shapeshifters in Elf. I don't know what the lore behind that is, but the lore in this game is not that important, so. I've already found 2 shops, so there's probably 2 more shops on the floor. It's pretty common for when you get multiple shops for there to be 4. It's kind of like a bazaar floor. That's what they used to call it, but maybe not. It might just be the 2. Alright, so I have cleared out around me, and this is definitely the in-vault. So I'm going to clear around. Make sure I don't have anyone behind me. And here we go. This is definitely the path to the in-vault. So I'm going to back up. Now this guy's got repel missiles on him. That's what this little symbol in the top right-hand corner. It's a little like deflected arrow. I don't have great Evo. If I did, I don't have any great Evo items anyhow. What I can do is start using up these potions of attraction here on these spellcasters. Force them to come close to me and beat them up. There we go. Perfect. So there are some elf guys who are strong in melee, usually like the blade masters and such, but the spellcasters, if you can get them close to you as a Minotaur, that's good. You just want to beat them up. There we go. Alright. I'm probably not going to use those attraction potions for much else in the game. And I do have silent scrolls that I can use here too. But I'd like to save those for really dangerous spellcasting elites, or unique enemies. There we go. Alright. So I have cleared out around me. And at this point, it's just clearing elf. I'd like to do it without spending too much piety. I'd like to have my piety up for... Oh, hello. This guy's carrying just a really big great sword. Okay. He can haze himself and corrosive bolt himself, but I'm just going to try to fight him. Yeah. He's technically like a little dangerous, but, you know. I'm not dangerous myself. This guy come around the corner. So these guys do like the most damage here. It's got this ability called Crystal Spear, which is equivalent to a spell called the Head-Dipped Crystal Spear. It just does 3d 34 damage. That's a boatload of damage. I mean, if you max that out, it's like a, what, 102 maximum damage if you get unlucky. And I've only got 209 hit points, but it does. I think it does check AC, so it's not like the end of the world if that happens. I'm not stealthy, so I don't know why I didn't hear him. He should have seen me and heard me. I don't want... Okay, yeah, I want to get these guys... There we go. This is like the perfect place to fight these guys. They don't want to shoot through each other, so if you can get them coming in through a doorway, they can't shoot each other through each other, so like all these spellcasters have their capabilities pretty heavily reduced if you can fight them around a corner like that. Alright, so here's a similar situation. I'm going to go ahead and pop this fog scroll, because there's a lot of guys and they can start shooting me. And every time I move back in the fog scroll, they can't see me because all these clouds are blocking their line of sight. So like they have to move up to catch up to me, even though I'm still seeing them when they do that. So here we go. Now we're in melee range. These guys are kind of fighting me in melee. Turn this corner. This guy can summon demons, so I kind of have to kill him to kill the demons. There we go. And another cool thing, you can control F and press the period button, just kind of see if any important loot is dropped on the floor. Nothing yet, but hopefully once we clear it, there will be. That guy's got haste, but I'm still stronger than him. This guy's got an artifact on him. Pretty mediocre trident, but you know, it's good to check for artifacts when you see them. A common thing in Elf is like there's a whole bunch of cool loot in their little hidden vault, but once you start fighting them, they go pick up the cool loot and fight you with it, which is like I think one of the more... I think this is my favorite branch just for that reason. It's kind of fun in that way. This guy can hurl damnation. There we go. Back up, heal up. Fight this guy in melee. Another thing about like fighting casters in melee is like their AI is not, their like enemy heuristics are not perfect. Like they're not going to always do the most dangerous thing they possibly can do. So if you get them in melee, that gives them the option to waste their turn hitting you in melee, which is a lot better than them casting their damaging spells most of the time. I'm running low on boomerangs. Most enemies who are ranged will like swap to melee when you fight them, but deep elf master archers don't. They just keep shooting you because that's what they're good at. So like getting in melee with them isn't as helpful as it is against spellcasters in that same way. So that guy see me and fight him in melee. This is like the very common way of dealing with elf. If you're a spellcaster, you can like sometimes like throw in giant AoE spells that'll clog up the these little hallways. This hallway is very typical of elf. Just like a big choke point where you kind of have to run a long distance to get into a corridor or something. Alright, so... Oh, I need to train up my skills here. Last I was doing, like, I maxed out armor because I found some CPA, but even if I find gold dragon scales, which is kind of my ideal with my bad resistances, it's still good to have that much armor. What's my most efficient use of stuff here? So my most... So... The thing that the Orbs of Draining can do is they drop Banes, and some Banes like really hurt your skills. So I like to have like a little bit of extra oomph in my skills, so just in case, like get this up to 18, get my invocations up to like 12. Just some like a little bit of extra leeway so I don't get screwed if my skills get dropped by certain Banes. Alright, back up. There we go. Is this whip better than mine? +2 freezing versus +6? Nope. It's possible, but it was not the case. Alright, this guy's hasted. It's going to be a little harder to run away from him, but I also don't have resist corrosion, so... Oh! One-shot him with a boomerang. That's pretty cool. Okay, this guy's got demons in front of him, so he's never going to come melee with me. Just throw a javelin at him. Alright. Need to get in melee with this guy, because hitting him with ranged weapons isn't quite as effective with that repel missiles on him. And to heal, I'm going to go back a little bit around another corner. Because whenever you're fighting these guys, it makes a lot of noise and more guys will come for you. That's a really nice stat stick. Resist fire, double resist cold. I might just carry that around, because if I get enough throwing weapons from Okawaru, I might be able to just throw my way through the finale. Robe of Folly? Yeah, we're never equipping that. Holy crud. That's a unique, that's a non-random artifact. Minus infinite will. It's a spellcaster thing, but maybe like a Formicid spellcaster who has clarity or something, but even that seems suspicious because you'll get banished. That guy come to me, fight him one-on-one. Who's got a triple sword? Drop some quick blades, some triple swords. There's a lot of rare weapons in Elf 3. This is not unusual. I kind of already got the best rare weapon for me because I've been training maces and flails. I just want a slightly more damaging brand for it because my AC is pretty good. Alright, go around this corner and heal. Alright, this Blade Elf Master here. This Elf Blade Master, kind of mixing up the sequence of the words here. And like you see, there's been a ton of guys, and there's just more and more coming. Go. Back up a little bit, let him... Alright. I can kind of bait that guy with a boomerang, bring him around this corner, and charge him. It would be nice if I had... Do I have Rampage anywhere in this game? On a Faith Amulet with Resist Lectors... Oh, it's another freaking Gozag item, yeah. 6,500 gold, freaking Gozag shop. It's like, oh man, that's a really cool item. Maybe I could use that. Nope. Because I only have 2,000 gold, and that's not, like, a small amount at this point in the game. That's pretty typical. I haven't spent too much money, but... The Gozag shop is there to bait you into either be Gozag or you're never getting this stuff. Gozag's the god of money, and if you choose him as your god, you get a very money-based gameplay, which I'll probably do eventually. Ooh, this guy's confused and blinded me with a dart. Thankfully, I do have healing potions. Healing potion gets rid of confusion, though it doesn't get rid of blind. Pull this guy around the corner and fight him. There's a little trope of darts, which can blind you. A little annoying, but nothing too dangerous. Alright, I think we've cleared Elf, for the most part. There might be like a couple guys straggling. Yep, here's a straggler. Or two. Still hanging out in the vaults. +2 boots of earth. What are my current boots? +0 boots of stealth. Well, I don't care about stealth, so I'll take the +2 without having to waste my scrolls. Amnesia, doesn't matter. I can't wear a helmet because I'm a Minotaur. What's my hat? My hat is willpower. That's pretty important. Yeah, I have minimal willpower. If I had tons of willpower, I could probably equip this plus strength hat with better AC, but that'll be later. All right. Kill this fella. Not using staves. Here's the flail with resist electricity and oh no, just electricity and resist poison. That's probably not going to be relevant to me. Sack of Spiders I can't use because of Okawaru. I'm sticking to Okawaru for the late game. Just going to show you the full Okawaru run. Technically, if I'm worried about negative damage, I could transition to being a follower of the Shining One. I would incur Okawaru's Wrath, which is pretty nasty. But that would give me the resist negative I need. Shining One's the anti-evil god, or one of the 3 anti-evil gods. But I'm gonna try to bear it out. That might actually should be the intelligent play, but alright. I got resist poison and will, which is almost certainly better than this. I am losing like a point of I'm losing like 1 point of strength, but yeah, that's definitely better than this. I might hold on to dissipate just in case I need it at some point, but this does give me poison and willpower, and if I'm getting willpower, I might almost be able to unequip this. I'm never going to need wisdom and or wizardry and stealth. I'm not casting spells, and I'm very loud. See if I picked up anything else in Elf. Let's press the O button just to auto explore, pick up anything that I auto pick up that I might have missed. All right, and press Control F period. Check the floor for anything interesting. Spells and mundane items are not relevant to me. Check the rare weapons. Nothing super important here. And yeah. Pretty mediocre elf, if I'm being honest. I did get an upgrade in the amulet department, and I don't think I have any other special rings that are calling to me here. Nope. Alright, so I'm going to do depths now before I do Vault 5. Because I got nothing else left to do. So that's there's nothing in these shops. Yeah, I already checked those. Just a book shop and a weapon shop. Alright, so we'll go ahead and leave elf. Let's go to depths. You can just Control F, search for depths, and go straight there. One thing I want to do, because I haven't played this character in a week, is to make sure I'm not missing anything in the shop. You can Control F for gold, and it'll show you anything you could buy. A resist corrosion ring with strength is probably like it's not better than a slaying ring right now, but the resist corrosion could be nifty if I need it. If I want to go to slime or something, and getting a little strength bonus would be nice. Just checking for anything interesting that I might not have had the money for that I might now. And this is better than what I've got. Manual short blade's not super relevant. This cloak is, like I said, pretty solid, though I do have resist poison on my amulet. +3. 3 will. If I equip that, though, I'll lose 19 AC. That is not worth the willpower. Nope. Manual of dodging. If I ever get a lot of money. It's good to check your consumables too, like, you know, heal wounds and curing are good to have on hand, especially going into Zot. This would be a direct upgrade, but it's another Gozag item. Resist corrosion, like 2,800 gold, so much money. Infusion, which is what I've already got. Resist corrosion, that would give me my resist corrosion without having to change out my ring slot. That'd be nice. So my current gloves are just an infusion glove. I'm not using these. Don't really care about any of these weapons or staves. Here's a Faith, Rampage, Resist Electricity, Resist 2 Cold amulet that I would love to equip if I had 6,500 gold. Yep. Classic. Alright, well, let's try to clear depths if we can. I never got a brand weapon scroll, right? Let's double check. Brand weapon scroll. Nope. No brand weapon scroll, so we just gotta live with what we got for now. Hopefully I'll find some gold dragon armor. That'd be like, if you're struggling for resistances, gold dragon armor is really good because it gives you 3 resistances. If you're not, then you just stick with the CPA because it has better AC. But the gold dragon armor has good enough AC that the resistances are worth it a lot of the time. These a bunch of distortion, like this is Logano. Are these a bunch of distortion weapons or just a bunch of draining weapons? I still don't want to... I don't really want to... Oh, I didn't mean to click that. Well, let's throw some javelins here. Let's change this so I can just press the F button. About to drain myself for no reason. Alright, kill this. Well, I didn't need to do that, but I did. I accidentally pressed the button while trying to right-click them. Alright. Auto explore. This is an entrance to hell. You just kind of get shot at by these hell pigs from across the lava if you stand there, so I'm not going to bother for now. I do want that scroll, though. Let's back up around this corner, kill this guy, heal up. Oh, kill this guy. Yeah, see, these guys are just going to shoot me. Very annoying. Here's all the guys who can fly. Okay, so I don't have any resist negative. This is a bunch of dangerous enemies. This guy's just kind of blasting me with drain life, which is a negative damage thing. Like, I need resist negative really badly here. Let's throw these javelins at these guys who can resist negative blast me. We're using silver javelins because they're extra effective against demons and undead. These guys are demons. Pretty low. Finesse here. Lost a lot of mana. We can javelin a little bit more. Throw a boomerang at this guy. Alright, we killed all those guys, now I can heal up. Boomerang this guy. If it's a one-on-one, this guy isn't nearly as dangerous, but when there's two of them and there's a bunch of guys in front of them, that's when they become super dangerous, which was the situation. I can beat this Reaper one-on-one. Like, they're pretty high damage enemies, but like in a one-on-one fight, I'm still way stronger than these guys. The problem is when I'm not in a one-on-one fight. Alright, let's boomerang these guys so I don't shoot me with fire, so I can get this. I'm running low on boomerangs. Are there any other boomerangs on the floor I haven't gotten? Nope. Hope Okar gives me some more boomerangs. Well, he's giving me javelins. I can't complain about javelins. They're better than boomerangs, but boomerangs are kind of my go-to for a while. Let's back up into this. There's just a bunch of ugly things. These guys do like elemental-based damage based on their color. Alright, is there anything on this little hell island? Just a little gold. I have a flight ring, so I can kind of just fly over here and pick this stuff up. Get my gold. Change back to my sleigh ring. This looks like a ziggurat entrance. Yeah, this is a ziggurat. Ziggurats are very interesting because they are both like a sort of mid-late game treasure vault, but if you go deep enough into them, it becomes super dangerous, and eventually you can kind of keep redoing ziggurat over and over again, and it gets stronger every time you do it, and it's like an infinitely scaling place of danger, but incredible loot. I'm probably not going to be doing a zig run in this on this character. I'm already kind of relatively weak gear-wise, so I might do like a short zig, like go in for like 10 or so floors if I'm like searching for some resistances or something, but unlikely I'm going to do a zig run on a melee character, like a full zig run. And these guys flay you. It looks like I'm taking a ton of damage, but like they kind of just do half your life and damage if you have skin. They're skin flayers from a distance, but if you kill them, you get all your skin back, I guess is how the lore works. Alright, that's Depths 1 done. So Depths is basically just a dungeon, but nastier. You just have stronger enemies hanging out. Let's see if I can... I don't want to waste too many boomerangs, so... Go up these stairs, fight these guys. 1 on 2. They did drain me a little bit, but not too bad. I think I can just fight these guys, yeah. Do a little stair dancing. Stair dancing's good. Just some zombies, beating them up. So I'm trying to keep an eye out for certain things, like brand weapon scrolls, resist negative, gold dragon armor would be really nice around this point. Considering I need resist negative, pearl dragon armor would even be decent, but like, I would be losing a lot of AC with that. So I think the better option is like just get better resist negative armor and use Gold Dragon. Alright, so this is a Spriggan Defender. This is a Berserker. These guys are pretty dangerous, but I do have a corridor here. Let's corrode so they're not quite as dangerous. There we go. Now I can beat these guys. These guys are stabbing from a distance with their spears, but not a big deal. Alright, these guys like turn invisible and then like do tons of damage. Kind of like a rogue in D&D, like backstab damage. But I can see invisible so they don't get to do the extra damage, so they're not quite as dangerous. I do have my resist fire and resist cold up, so I'm not super scared of those guys. A lot more Spriggans. Spriggans are like little guys who are super fast. Oop, okay, well I got hit with Malevolence and I dropped 2 floors down to depths 4. This is one of the more dangerous possible things that could ever happen to you. So I might need a rev. I have a bunch of so Revelation Scrolls revealed the entire floor to you, right? And this is a great time to use it when you drop floors and you don't know like where the safe directions are. It'll show you like enemies in this little cleared out square as well as the floor layout. So now I know where the upstairs are, and I can fight my way towards those upstairs. So you press X or Shift X, you can kind of look around where the stairs are. So that's Zot. That is the end boss in this little dungeon here, this little symbol right here on the middle of the floor. I don't know what the shape is supposed to be, but like basically, don't go in this area because it's super dangerous just yet. Though I do plan on clearing it eventually. So I'm going to try to go up these nearby stairs to the bottom left of me. That seems like the place to fight towards. And we're gonna clear around in these little hallways because these are a little safer. So this guy can blow up in my hallway, so I got to kill him quickly before he blows up too many of them. Turn this corner. Yeah, see, exactly like this. My precious hallways have been blown open, so now I don't have these easy one-on-one corridors. This guy's kind of annoying. He like summons these living spells, and then the living spells cast high damage spells at you. So you gotta like you want to get that guy close and kill him fast. Is this like a super spellcaster because he just summons guys who cast spells, but there's multiple spells at a time? Of course, he disappeared around a corner despite me being so loud. Alright. Doesn't look like anything's here, so we're going to go back to where I was. Up around this hallway, because this is a good place to retreat to. Another entrance to hell. Positus themed, I think. With the water. Oh, I can go down this hallway and get to this other set of stairs. That's good. There's some more stairs to the bottom left here. Alright, so back up into this hallway. Another guy who blows up my... Alright, killed him. Alright, so I've got my skills up a little bit better. I think the best thing to do... Dodging is my most efficient investment in skills right now, right? Yeah. Let me check for, any good weapons. Like, did I find any good artifact weapons in this game that I could maybe transition to? I don't think so. Not least, nothing strength-based, you know. I could always go Lich form if I could afford 10,000 gold from fucking... I don't think I have the XP to go into a Lich form anyhow, so it's not worth it. Got this corridor. This guy's just blasting me with lightning damage. What a jerk. There we go. Get him in melee. Can I... It's like a good... I can just drop a 10 of Tremor Stones here. These guys have low hit points and high evasion. So like, this is like a giant blast of damage that's really good against low AC enemies. It hurts you too, but I have really high AC, so it's actually really good for me. My evocation's pretty mediocre, but like it's just free damage, and it hits a big group. Flight potion. Alright, so there's that living spell guy. These things all cast Crystal Spear, as you can see, and also it triggered my slow cloak. Kind of like surviving with the slow cloak, which is pretty annoying. I would like to replace that if I could, but it doesn't seem like an option. Alright, so we can kind of make our way down to this staircase. There we go. You can kind of treat this deep water as like a pseudo choke point, so now only 2 guys at a time can fight me. Until these shock wops like teleport behind me. Alright. There we go. Now we can go up this, heal up before you go up the staircase. I'll go around this corner. This is why I like this staircase right here. I could have gone to this one, which I did see, but this staircase has a little corridor I can retreat around just in case. Alright. Oh, I go up the floor and I instantly get hit with Malevolence, and now I'm somewhere dangerous. Alright, so... all these guys are sleeping. I could maybe just make a run for this staircase here, which goes to a place I've... yeah, okay. Now I'm back on floor 1, or floor 2, which is where I originally dropped. I can clear this place. Alright, this guy summoned a whole horde of jerks around him, so I'm going to throw a javelin and try to kill him. Whoop, there we go. Let's get this up to... I've been relying on throwing a lot. Let's get this up a little bit more. Increase my accuracy and damage on it, too. Let's set a threshold for my dodging. If I press Control question mark and check my dodging, it's every 0.4 gives me an EV. Technically, no experience is wasted because like it goes beyond that 0.4. It's like 0.4, then some more numbers after the decimal point. But functionally, you could say every 5 gives me a point, 2 points of EV as like an even place to go. So like a good stopping point for dodging here would be 15 to get a full EV out of it. Let's kill these shadow demons before they can summon a bunch of jerks. Like that. Okay, summon a bunch of jerks, so I gotta throw my javelins at them. There we go. Bunch of undead in here, vampires and such. This might be a good time to use this Evening Star, because like cold damage is fairly ineffective against these guys, and this is just a better weapon. And I would be getting AC from it. I've been slowed again by my cloak. That guy just hit me with a okay. Hit me with some contamination, but I can just rest it off. Yeah, this Evening Star is probably going to be better against resist cold enemies anyhow. Ooh. This is a Diff Minnow special vault that has 2 unique items that I'm never going to use because these are for sneakers, for sneaky characters. This is a really, really good item set if you are playing a stabby, sneaky character. This cloak gives you stealth, see invisibility, and the quiet condition. All noise is dampened. This gives you, like, this reduces your vision, which is not bad if you're a sneaky character, and plus willpower, and plus 5 AC on a robe is hard to get otherwise. These guys can torment you, which is just like automatically doing half your life again. But they're not, they can still do a little damage in melee, so they can kill you, but like, once they've tormented you, that's kind of most of their damage. They're more dangerous when there's other enemies around to take advantage of your weakness. Go back to my demon whip here. I'm not fighting undead. Get hit with another malevolence. I guess it's fine to be here than anywhere else. All right, let's so I got everything I was working on up. Let's get. Oh, I was like throwing to 20. Yeah, that was the plan. Yeah. My duel is also only at 6%. I'd like to get that up to like maybe maybe invocation to 14. We'll get it roughly where I want it. So duel's more usable. Hey, more boomerangs. I was desperately needing more boomerangs. Thank you, Okawaru. Down to 9. Oh. I'm never going to use a ring of magical power. My MP is not relevant here. Got a little hell vault. Alright, so we've cleared out floor 2. Now I can go back down to floor 3. Let's check this one because we haven't seen what's around it. Okay, are all the staircases in this floor garbage? Just wide out in the open, nowhere to retreat to? Let's check this one. Yep, they're all right next to each other, and they're all garbage. Okay, so I'm going to go... This one seemed the safest. I'm going to go in here. I've got 7 Rev Scrolls. This is a great place to use it. Is there any place to retreat to this entire freaking map? Nope. Let's go upstairs. Undead won't follow you upstairs, so we're going to... I got to go up. Alright. I've been slowed, which is bad. How many Blink Scrolls do I have? 5. I'm going to telly here. So I can get out of this guy's constriction. This guy can like constrict you, which stops you from moving and removes all your evasion, which is like both a defensive and offensive nerf for Minotaur, because when you lose evasion, you lose your headbutt retaliation move. Alright. Alright, so that's like a lot of guys still. I don't want to... Let's try another staircase. That one's pretty rough. I think this is the other one that was okay. Okay, yeah, so I can kind of like... this is still pretty bad. Do I have a digging wand? I do not have a digging wand. Ugh. There's just nowhere good to go here. This is another Hell Vault. Or Hell Shrine. I don't think any of this is good. There's like only 2 good hallways in this entire freaking zone. Up top right and top left. I guess there's like a couple on the bottom left, but not many. This might just be like a use your throwing weapons to get out of the situation, but let's see if we can kind of weasel my way down here. Alright, here we go. Here's like a... If I need to back up into... Oh, Golden Dragon! Okay, awesome. Golden Dragons do resist cold, so I'm going to go ahead and equip this Evening Star. If I can get this Golden Dragon armor. Yes! Excellent. Okay, we're going to go grab this. pick it up, back up to this escape hatch, go upstairs. Now I can just reassess my gear, right? So I will lose 6.5 AC, which is rough, but 39 AC is not bad, and I'm about to enchant the heck out of it. Saved up these scrolls here. So now I've got way better resistances, and I can change out some of my gear. So I don't need you anymore. Definitely, I don't know why I'm carrying you. I'm never going to need a... I don't think I'm going to need this... Okay, so now that I've got resist poison, I can change my amulet out, right? And I've got resist cold, so I can change my ring out. So I can get this amulet of resist negative up if I need it. But I think I'll keep this just for the spirit, which is also like just plus 31 hit points for me, and the will. But I don't need the resist cold that much, so I can go back to... I get my first point of resist negative, RN plus. Drop 380 gold for that. That's not too bad. Still need this for the electricity and the willpower. What I could do is change out... There's no better boots on the floor, right? Just the +2 boots I found? Yeah, nothing better there. And there's no better gloves on the floor. I didn't find any gloves or hurling or anything. Nope. Alright, so the infusion... Infusion's actually... I think I'm going to get rid of infusion even though it's free damage. Just because I'm currently wearing G-Spirit, which means I have hit points for my mana, functionally. So I'm going to go find a random pair of gloves that are nearby. I would really... I don't want this infusion either. Like, this resist corrosion would be nice, but... Is that my closest pair of gloves? Well... I will live with it, I guess. I'm trading hit points for damage at that point. I don't need this resist cold. I think I can go ahead and drop this. It's nifty, but not relevant. Same with this. I could use resist corrosion, but I think we get that out of I have the ring I can swap to if I need it. Don't need regular reflection. Light ring's nice to have around. I'm not using axes here. Alright, so basically my only resist weaknesses here are negative and corrosion. And I could just... What's my willpower at? I got 5 pips. I could sacrifice a willpower. I would be under harm. I would lose a little bit of strength, but I would gain reflection, which is nifty, harm, and resist -2. Harm is basically adding 20% damage to everything. So like even though I've just gained a bunch of resistances here, I'm now more weak to the damage. But it does make me do more damage, which is nice. I think I can go ahead and drop this now that I've got the Golden Dragon armor. You have infinite inventory, but this is just nice for, like, clarity's sake. I don't need this or this anymore. I can come back for these if I need them, but definitely not equipping any other body armor. Alright, so I think we're doing good. I think I've identified everything, so I don't need that, but whatever. So now, what's the best situation? So, like, the sling's still pretty good, considering my resists are solid, and the only thing I really need is resist corrosion. And I have a resist corrosion ring if I wanted to throw it on, but I'd rather have the sling for now. Okay, I think we're good. We're well set up. We got our in-game armor, and any enchant armor scrolls we find can go to that. Let's go back up these stairs here. Oh, let's go ahead and make sure I don't pick up any more of these amulets I don't need any more of. Don't need dissipation, don't need wild shape, don't need you, don't need you, don't need you, don't need you. This just makes my auto pick up a little more discriminative. Don't need amnesia scrolls. Don't need noise scrolls. Alright, that's a good place to... Oop. I have attracted enemies. Let's go up these... That guy hit me with an orb of destruction. Let's go up these stairs so I can heal up after killing this guy. Oh, let's go back to my... Well... I'm about to kill a Lich, so a Lich is like... Alright, there's melee. Bam. I do have reflection up now, because I swapped out my amulet. Basically, I can just say this amulet has dropped me 30 hit points and 20% of my remaining hit points. I might just want to get my fighting maxed out at this point. Just to have more hit points. Let's finish what I'm doing, but then we'll go back to fighting. Let's go back to this whip. There's a bunch of undead here. Swap my weapon because you guys are all resistant to cold. There we go. Are you resist cold? Nope. Let's boomerang you because you have a bunch of spells that are annoying. Yeah, see, I'm taking a lot more damage than I was before. I think I just want to get fighting up. What's my duel at? This is like the difficult part. Is like these guys do a lot of corrosion damage, but one-on-one not that dangerous. Back to whip. There's actually like a quick swap button, but I forget. I always just click it. Let these guys come to me. This guy's actually weak to cold. This looks like a little mini hell-themed vault. Ooh, boomerangs. I love boomerangs. Yes! Gain 6 boomerangs. That's such a godsend. Some money. I definitely could use that. Alright, now I think I've cleared out most of the main floor here. I'll shout to bring those guys to me. There we go. And this Okawari run, he's been giving me a lot of darts, and I do not want these darts. Another malevolent force. I've been marked. Let's go to this corridor. So anything coming at me, it's coming at me in a one-on-one fashion. An Okawari shrine and some AC. I've been slow, but that's because this guy right here. This is a good javelin situation here. Hit 3 guys at once. Kill this Moth of Wrath before it can make these guys way more dangerous. Go back to boomerang because I'm only hitting one guy at a time. This guy's got a... Oh, this guy's got the Obsidian Axe. If I was being very, very risky, I could try that out. It's a plus 16 axe with a pretty mediocre brand in draining, but a really powerful secondary unique brand called Demonic. It occasionally summons demons to assist the wielder when it strikes in combat. This is one of the strongest weapons in the game. It's a plus 16 functional like broadaxe. It's really, really strong. It gives you flying and see invisibility just as a freebie. It drains you if you take it off, so you can't like swap back and forth from it. But here's the other thing: if the wielder is mesmerized by any visible foes, and it cannot be unequipped while any foes are visible. What this means is, if you see an enemy, you cannot retreat, making it the most dangerous weapon in the game to equip. It would not be hard for me to get axes up to the point where that is a skill. I'm like already at 15 because I was using axes at the start of the run. I'm gonna carry it, but I don't think it's good. I think it's too dangerous to use. That guy just summons jerks. I can just equip a flying ring and come at this guy. Ooh, a manual. Manual of throwing! That's actually relevant. Cool. Thank you. Awesome. Let's get my sleigh ring back on. Alright, I've cleared this floor out. And since I dropped down to floor, I can now go back to floor down the staircase I had used previously. Because I know it's relatively safe. Sick. Alright. So, I almost want to use this just as like a demonstration of how... if I find a... I don't want to take the draining, but I kind of like... If I find an enemy that's one-on-one, I can kind of show it off, but maybe not now. Is my... Okay, yeah. I'm at minimum delay. Just making sure I don't have shield delay to train up. Well, a lot of guys heard me here. Let's go down here. If I clear out below... Okay, this is a finesse situation. Kill as many guys as possible, so I'm not getting 3v1'd here. Kill the guys below me quickly, and kill the guys above me. There we go. Doable, but a little bit dangerous. Oh, I forgot to use my enchant armor scroll. I'm missing out on an AC. Boom. I do have 3 enchant weapon scrolls, which is just enough to max out either my whip or my evening star. Basically, if my next brand weapon is bad, I'll stick with the whip and upgrade it. Ooh, hello. I got Malevolence again. We're teleporting out of here. I'm surrounded by enemies. This is a perfect place to teleport. I've already cleared most of the level. Most of my teleports are good. Yeah. I have woken up a bunch of enemies in there, so they might start coming out now, which is fine. That's actually better for me. But that is a perfect time to use a teleport scroll. You randomly teleport away from your destination. or from your current location to a new destination. There we go. Bunch of enemies I can drag down a corridor. Hit with my whip. What's my current slaying at? It's technically plus 10, but you can treat infusion as another plus 3, basically. Like it just does an extra 3 damage per mana spent. Just clear out all this stuff around here so I don't get completely ruined. Alright, this is probably the best place to come into here from here, because you can like retreat around this corner, bring guys towards you, fight them. I like the freezing command a lot because it slows down reptilian enemies. That includes these draconians. So that guy just blasted me twice. What a jerk. So characters like enemies like this who have damnation abilities, whose damage don't get... So if you read damnation, I think I've showed it off in my previous stream, but it ignores all armor and resistances, which means it's just flat damage. That's extra dangerous when you're wearing a harm item like I am, because that just flat damage is just multiplied. So you have to be extra wary of those guys. What's my duel at? Alright, I'm close to getting duel up to... Go around this corner. So I could use resist corrosion, because there are a lot of corrosion-based draconians. This is like the main in-game enemy you're going to see, draconians. It's like the rank and file of the final dungeon. And Draconian's one of the races you can actually play at when you're picking your race in the starting game, and they're all just like dragons in D&D or fantasy or whatever. Okay, well I got hit by a guy with a distortion weapon. He immediately sent me to the abyss. I'm going to try to get out because I don't think I'm suited for abyss rune. So the abyss is like probably the most unique zone in the most unique branch of the entire game. I guess this is a good time to explain it because I'm here. So anyone who has a distortion weapon can randomly send you to the abyss on like a low % chance when they hit you, and that's what happened to me here. The abyss is like, I think now, it didn't used to do this, but now it like sends you to a deeper level based on your character level. Because I'm level 23, it sends me to a relatively deep level, 4 levels deep as opposed to level 1, 2, or 3. And the lower the level, the more dangerous it is. And I believe starting at Abyss 3, you can technically find the Abyssal Rune of Zot, which could be the 3rd rune you go for. I don't like the Abyss because it's very likely to get mutations, and you're, like... The way it works is, as you can see, as I'm moving away, the place is disappearing from my view. Like, the Fog of War comes back, as opposed to, like, anywhere else in the game where it just kind of... Once you've cleared a place, you know what's there. And, like, the place warps around you, and it'll randomly teleport you, even without malevolence. So we're gonna leave. I'm gonna kill this guy with a boomerang, so he doesn't send me to the Abyss again. There's, like, a cooldown when you escape the Abyss from... where you can't immediately get sent back even by a distortion weapon, which is nice. Otherwise, like you could get stuck in chains. Yeah, there is just less mutation in general. Like it's based on Doom and stuff, like different stats, but still annoying. Like Abyss could be my 3rd rune on this character. Like, now that I've got this gold dragon armor, my resists are actually solid. Like, this is a solid resist suite. 4 will is actually pretty good, even though I got unlucky with the banishment there. There's a lot of enemies who just have, like, a banishment spell, which is based on your willpower. Generally speaking, Abyss is a really good way to die early in the game. At this point, I'm strong enough to survive it. Like, once you're at XL 23, you should be strong enough to, like, not immediately die in Abyss. But it is still pretty tough, and I'd rather like do vaults than Abyss typically, because the loot's better. If you're gonna get a rune, you might as well get a bunch of cool gear on your way there. Okay, so we've cleared out Depths 4. So this is the final zone in the game, but you have to have 3 runes to get in, and I, if you check my page here, only have 2 of 15 runes. So the only other places you can get runes are, you can go down the Crypt, which is in the vaults, and then once you go through Crypt, there's a place beyond that called the Tomb. I would not suggest that unless you have a particularly good anti-tomb build. And that's... I'm going to save tomb for like a 15 rune run later that I'm going to do at some point on these streams. Which is a way more involved run. If I was doing a 50 rune run on this character, I'd probably go for Shining One immediately. The Okawara to Shining One transition is pretty solid. And the other one is Slime. Slime used to be like a reasonable alternative to vaults. It's a lot more dangerous now, and I'm probably going to save doing that until I know it better. I'm not... So, basically, I used to do Slime all the time because I didn't think it was that hard. They've made it significantly harder with significantly more new enemies that I do not know well enough to give good advice on. But maybe I should just show it off on that premise alone. But I'm gonna do vaults because I always do vaults, even when I've already got another rune. Because I like vaults 5. I think it's another interesting zone. So I've already shown the ambush that happens at the start of Vault 5. You can see it like near the end of my previous crawl stream. And there's even like a little warning kind of painted on the staircases now, which I like. It's nifty. So like you'll see staircases look kind of normal, like this, just looks like a staircase. But when you're going down to Vaults 5 and you find a staircase, you'll see it has this like little metal staircase. Like it looks different, right? That's just like a small way of them telling you, hey, this staircase leading down to the Grand Vaults containing the Silver Rune of Zotz, whose wealth of artifacts is the most powerful champions from across the dungeon to its defense. It's telling you, it's like, hey, this looks different. Right-click it, then read it, and you read it and it says, oh, that's super dangerous. Here's one of the best ways to handle going down to Vaults 5. First, buff up before you go in. Second, you can click on an escape hatch, which will drop you in a random spot, as opposed to in the... if you go down a regular staircase, you're surrounded by a million enemies, and it's super dangerous. Now, you might still get surrounded by enemies if you go down an escape hatch, but you have a much better chance of just being sent to somewhere random where there's way less enemies. So what you want to do is you want to buff up before you go in. So I've got a slew of invisibility potions I'm going to pop. I'm going to pop invisibility, I'll pop a potion of might, and I'll pop one of these 7 potions of haste, and then I will go down. And as you can see, instead of being... This is like the other 3 staircases. If you went down a normal staircase, you go down here, and there's, 20 dudes here ready to kick your ass. I mean, these guys aren't strong, but when there's 20 of them and you have nowhere to retreat to because you're surrounded, it's pretty dangerous. And also, like, you're in the middle of the zone, so you're going to be making a lot of noise. So everyone from all these little 4 corners, and I'll show off the 4 corners here with a reveal scroll because I got plenty of them. You can see, like, this is a humongous zone, and there's enemies all throughout these little vault areas here. But now that I'm on the sides, because I went down an escape hatch, I have, a much more bottlenecked area to fight from. And it's a good time to fight right now while I'll just look at my buffs going, but just in general. See, like, I got Malevolence and teleported to the spot. Okay, I'm gonna pop my teleport here. Hopefully I go to a spot that isn't in the middle of the zone. Kill some guys while I'm here. Oh, I got my XP up. Okay, my throwing's at 20. Let's just get fighting up. Let's get fighting up to 27. I need hit points because I'm wearing a harm amulet. Okay, I teleport to a relatively good spot again. And, this is pretty typical for vaults. When you teleport, there's just so many, like, little small corridors you can kind of hide in. There are a lot of enemies, and it can be super dangerous if you keep, making a lot of noise and they come for you. What I'm going to do is, how many fog scrolls do I have? 3? Is this a good time to fog scroll? Yeah, I'm going to fog scroll here. Because, like, if I'm attracting a lot of guys, I don't want guys shooting me from a distance. Okay, so there's a lot of guys here. I'm going to go ahead and finesse. Just kill these guys quickly while this fog's up. Back up to this corner here, heal up. Alright, so I made a little bit of noise, but you don't make too much noise when you're fighting. And once you kind of cleared out a little corner like this, you're not attracting enemies. So, like, if I was fighting over here, there's more surface area for my noise to reach from all these little areas just around this for more enemies to come in from. If I'm fighting down here, the surface area is kind of like only in this direction. And once you've cleared out all the guys who are kind of hanging out in this area, you're a little bit more safe. There's one particular enemy, and it's actually a pretty common guy in vaults that you kind of want to be careful of when you're in Vaults 5, and that's the guy who marks you, which, like, lets most of the enemies in the area know where you're at. I'll point him out. He's called a Sentinel, but I'll point him out if I see him. But, like, you want to be careful of those guys, because if your willpower isn't very high, they could just mark you, and you'll get wrecked by everyone in the zone coming right at you. You could pop a cancellation potion, but I've only got one, and I don't want to waste it, Ooh, acquirement scroll. That's nice. Alright. We're just clearing it the way we would a regular zone at this point. These guys like give the repel missiles buff to everyone, which makes ranged attacks way less effective. So just go into melee there. Okay, here's the guy. This is the guy who can mark you. He's got a 0% because my willpower is good enough, but if your willpower is low, it would mark you, and then like every enemy would come rushing at you. But since it's 0%, I can kind of just like let him come to me. They still like shout, which will bring nearby enemies towards you because they hear you, but... Ooh, hello. Hello, what are you? The Necklace of Bloodlust. Man, if I could get some kind of way to avoid the random rage, this is like the second best necklace in the game. The second best amulet. +2 will, +6 slaying is insane. But I cannot stop that, so we're not going to bother. This is actually a pretty good armor if you need willpower. You can't enchant it, but it's base 9 AC and it gives willpower. That's pretty low encumbrance. Ooh, what's this orb? Will, strength, pyromania? Okay, cool. Alright, so back to clearing. Let these guys come to me. There's Marjorie. She's sometimes equipping some nice gear. She's got resist fire, resist cold, so she's wearing fire dragon armor. I don't care about that. Okay. My previous run, I killed her younger version. This is a lot of enemies. I'm going to pop a finesse again. That did lower my Okawaru piety, but this is what you need it for. Alright, back up, heal up. I don't think there's anything of note here. Nope. Alright, cool. Oh, I have this acquirement scroll. I should click that, obviously. A manual of shields, a ring of positive energy, or a bunch of gold. The gold would be nice. I do have some things on the floor, like, I would probably like to buy. Manual of dodging. I could buy a manual. It's pretty funny. But obviously I should just get the manual at that point. So this is a decent cloak, but I don't really need it unless I want that third pip of RN, which I don't really need with my amulet. I don't think it's going to give me enough money to get into the realm of... This resist corrosion ring would be nifty if I was going to do slime, which I might still try to do. But I have enough money for that, so like... Would the gold give me... It would give me this infusion glove. What's my current money at? That would give me my last resist I was looking for, and it's basically a side grade to my current gloves. But I've already got the gold for that, so if there be anything else I need this gold for... Maybe some potions, but I'm going to have enough gold for the potions, I believe. Like, there's only a couple that I need, just... Maybe a mutation potion, maybe a might potion, a couple of haste potions hanging out. Let's check my potion costs here. I'm pretty close to buying what I want with just the money I have, and I'm still going to get more gold from the rest of the Vaults 5. So, don't need this. So, like, 124, 145. We'll call that 400, 550-ish, 6... Let's say like 7. I need like 700 gold to get the potions I want, more or less. And to get those gloves, I need 2840, so I need 3,500 gold. I probably have enough. I'm gonna wait to see if I get enough gold to buy everything I want here. And if I do, I'll just get like the manual, or I'll just get the manual. That manual of dodging is probably better than the manual of shields, though. So maybe I still want that. These guys can summon a bunch of enemies from around the zone right next to you, so you kind of want to kill them fast when that flag appears over their head. Fill up a little bit. Ooh, throw a boomerang. This guy like shoots really hard, but I've got reflection and pretty high shield, so I'm not that worried about him. But if I get unlucky, he can do a lot of damage considering I have a harm amulet. So one of the things I like about reflection is like you can just kind of like kill range guys like that relatively easily. A regular orc, huh? Buddy, you are not in the right zone. You've got 7 hit points. What are you doing here? Why are you... You have polymorph wand. Okay, well, I've got enough will. That doesn't matter. Alright, this corner. Is Saint Roka here? There's a Dread Lich. This guy can, like, paralyze me, but I've got enough willpower, so I don't care. Okay, cool. So I don't have to pop my potions here. He does summon jerks, but... If I kill him fast enough, it doesn't matter. That's kind of like the perfect heuristic of Crawl. If I kill them fast enough, it doesn't matter. Which is why like the Obsidian Axe is tempting. If I killed these guys fast enough, it would not matter. Ooh. Oh, you saw the Shapeshifter's true form for a second there. That's pretty rare. Alright, so now I can immediately buff my armor. 47 AC is really good. Really, it's like really good. Honestly, at this point, my AC is kind of way better than I need it to be. I'd rather have evasion. Ooh, that looks like Menace. Yeah, okay, this is one of the most dangerous enemies in the game. This guy is so annoying. I do have enough willpower that his Mask Fusion's not ruining my day, but he just, like, he hits really hard, and he's got good defenses, and he's got, like, a big old shield. He's just such a pain. So I'm going to teleport away, because I don't want to fight this guy alongside a million other guys. Okay, well, I've teleported next to, a bunch of enemies, so I'm going to teleport again. Thankfully, you get a lot of teleport scrolls in the crawl, so... Alright, here we go. This is a place I've relatively cleared out, so... not nearly as bad. Let's go around this corner. Heal up a little bit. It still hurt my fighting, but, like, there we go. Kill the Stritch, Dreadlich by himself. That's like the perfect place, like, fight, heal, fight, heal, fight, heal. This is way better. Alright, there's a bunch of guys here, but not so many that I'm worried. Yeah. Also a good place to get my, piety back up, because I don't need to buff up to beat these guys in a fight. One nice thing about vaults is you do get a lot of money, so, like, if you're like, man, I don't have any gold for all this cool gear I'm seeing, all these potions on the floor, on these shops. Well, you come here. This is why you basically always do vault, even if you're like, I want to do slime this run too. Always do vault, just because if you can handle it, it's the best loot. Slime has good loot too, but, like, I think on average vault is always the best loot. See, another enchant armor scroll. Like, I'm probably gonna get to 50 AC before this game's over if I just get a little bit more on the enchant armor scrolls. So, lightning rod's pretty cool. I haven't found one of those yet. All right. Get that guy. All right. I should, like, actually use my... do I have any darts left? I do. I am still carrying regular ass darts. I don't need regular darts. I'll use the Curaries, but just like a way to get someone's attention so they'll come to me without... Yep, there's another enchant armor scroll. Bam. Almost at 50 AC. AC is the most important resist in the game, because the most common way you take damage is getting hit. Alright, so here's Menace. Bring him around this corner. He's probably worth buffing up for. I'm going to pop one of my 6 hastes. He's resistant to cold, right? No, he's not. Okay, so I want to keep my Demon Whip on him. He silences, but I'm not that worried about silence. Yeah, okay, I'm starting to hit him and I'm doing damage. Yeah, okay. One-on-one, not nearly as big of a problem, but in a group like that, he's the most dangerous enemy for a spellcaster because he can cast silence. If I was a spellcaster and you cast silence, like, what am I doing there? You have to kill that guy fast or have a bunch of summons, but he can abjure summons, so, like, he's like the ultimate anti-spellcaster, so, like, he ends a lot of... he's like the most dangerous mid-late game enemy for spellcasters, in my opinion. If you consider late game, like, Zot and all the extended branches you can avoid, like, this is kind of like... I consider Vault the end of the mid-late game and Zot the true end game. Like, Zot, Slime, Tomb, Pell, and Pandemonium are kind of like what I consider the end game of the game. Whereas, like, Crypt, Vaults, Elf are the mid-late game. I could do Crypt at this point. Ooh, I'm into Miasma. These guys don't look dangerous because they have, like, a Drake sprite, but, like, they're super dangerous because they shoot Miasma at you. And Miasma's, like, super poison that also damages you while you stand in it. Just really annoying jerks here. Oh, it was a shapeshifter, too. A shapeshifter just picked a super dangerous form. Classic. I need to... I'm slowed right now. Ugh. I need to get somewhere. Oh, I can just go up the stairs now. I cleared out the middle so I can just go upstairs. Whew. Gotta remember that. Like, I've... Alright, clear out this... Now we can just press the auto-explorer. I've cleared up enough of the area that I'm pretty happy auto-exploring. Pretty much got a place to retreat to no matter where I go. There's the rune. Alright, so we have found our 3rd rune. We can now go to the final dungeon. But before that, you want to gear up, because you've just cleared out this giant place full of loot and money. So I started this... I had like 3,000 gold when I checked my gold earlier. I'm now at 4,000 gold. So I can probably afford all the gold stuff I want. So there's those cool gloves that are going to give me resist corrosion and some free decks. Let's go ahead and get those. I am technically losing 2 potential AC if I found 2 more resist or enchantment armor scrolls, but if I find them, I can just swap back, I guess. But I'd rather have the resist corrosion anyhow. All right, so here's the super expensive Gozag shop. Is there anything else that this 4,000 gold can buy me that I think is relevant here? No, I don't believe so. I'm not equipping these robes. This rings are too expensive. Yeah, I think it's just these gloves that matter to me. Like, this is a nice amulet, but I don't think I need it. I think I need my resist negative amulet anyhow. So we're going to go ahead and drop a lot of money on that. Equip the strictly better gloves. We're going to go back to the vaults. At least, like, that's where I last was. Oh, we can go ahead and get all our potions, too. Potion of haste. Yeah. Let's buy up these potions. All the good potions here. How many cures do I have? I have 22 cures. I don't need to waste money on that. Yeah. Haste. So get this haste. If I was a spellcaster, I'd definitely get this potion of brilliance, but 36 gold for a potion of attraction. How many do I have? 2? I'll get a third one on the cheap. Alright, so any other potions I really want here? A potion of might. Yeah, let's get that potion of might for sure. I've only got 3 mites. Definitely want more. Yeah, give me that. And if I need these potion mutations, I can come back for them, but I am sitting on 4 that I haven't used. So I have no outstanding mutations. Hey, I found the best ring in the game for a spellcaster. I don't need you. Ring of Evasion, don't need that. Resist poison, another whiz ring. Double whiz ring would be pretty funny on a spellcaster. I'm never equipping a second slaying, and I don't think I'm equipping evasion. I just found my resist corrosion, so I don't really need that. I might need a third resist fire. Hold on to that. I'm never equipping this because I don't have clarity. My willpower is +4, so I can't really swap out this hatch yet. Just found my better gloves. I don't need you anymore. I got see invisibility, don't I, on my cloak? Yeah, so I'll go ahead and drop this. So I'll change my cloak, but I don't think I'm going to. There's no good boots hanging around. Before you do anything, before you go into like a super dangerous level, just like, this is a good thing to do, is like examine all your gear. Like, I just cleared vaults. I can maybe find like gear improvements by just searching. No particular shield improvements. I like my resist fire here. And I did get reflection. I've got resist electricity on my cloak that I'm keeping. And I don't have any better hats, right? Just the 2 I found. I mean, it's a good hat. Finding a willpower hat's like the ideal ideal non-artifact for a Minotaur, so not unhappy about that. Or not happy about... I'm happy with what my hat situation is. Alright, so I just checked my gloves. Don't think I did have any better cloak options. Nope, and I just found my resist corrosion, so I don't need this resist corrosion cloak anymore. Sure I'm not missing any throwing weapons here. Ooh, 5 javelins for some gold. I'll take that. That'll be the rest of my gold. That's pretty fine. Yeah, max out on my throwing weapons. There's no other throwing weapons that I'm missing. Nope, okay. Got the only nets that are on the floor. And I checked boots right. And I can't really change my amulet, because like this would be a wonderful amulet if I could afford the resist negative and I had clarity, but not super relevant here. Yeah, this is probably my best amulet for sure. And I found no, I did not find a brand weapon scroll. So we're going to go ahead and commit to this Demon Whip. I'll still carry the Evening Star just because I just randomly come across one and some enchant weapons, but it's, I mean, a plus 9 Demon Whip is a great place to go. Like, with my attack speed and finesse and such, we're good. So I can go ahead and spin this, go ahead and get this Manual of Shields, and once I've trained up my fighting, I can just buff up shields and throwing and be just have some good defensive. Alright, so I'm gonna show off the crypt. A lot of people just kind of skip crypt because it's not necessary. Funnily enough, I just buffed up my my Demon Whip, but this Evening Star is actually going to be better there. It's Control F, yes, Control F, and then you type in what you're searching. So there's a few things that you should know when you're using Control F. If you press the dot button, it'll show you kind of, oops, sorry. If you press Control F, period, and press enter, it'll kind of show you everything on your current floor. So you see I'm in Vaults 2. It's kind of showing me every single thing on Vaults 2. I just dropped a bunch of items, so obviously there's a bunch of stuff showing up. The best way to look up resist is like Control F, RN plus would search resist negative plus items, right? Control F, R, F plus. And another good one to know is artifact, or ARTE or I believe you can use either spelling. And this will show you all your artifacts. It's pretty good to look up artifacts because like artifact auxiliary defense slots are pretty important in the game. You know, these gloves I'm equipping, this cloak I'm equipping, they're relatively important. And like your jewelry is also usually the best. Frequently, the best slots for your jewelry are artifacts, though not for my rings this time, I believe. If you just Control F ring of, it'll show you basically every ring in the game, because every ring goes ring of blank. The rings wedge ops. It'll even include the ones that don't say ring of, because like it just knows ring of is a common search term. It's kind of baked into the game. This would be a decent ring, 3 slay, even though I lose strength, but obviously I could never afford 7,000 gold without clearing the hells. Yeah, this is kind of what this pretty bad ring set, honestly. The only good rings were super expensive rings I couldn't equip, or the best ring in the game for a mage, Wiz and Archmagi, the best mage ring by far. Archmagi just powers up all your spells. Wizardry improves your spell casting proficiency. It's just double dipping on being better at spells. So yeah, as it stands, I guess I'll just stick with my slaying. You know, sometimes you kind of hope to find like a ring of plus stats and slaying and whatnot. Maybe I should have done crypt before I spent all my money, because there's like a gold... Oh, I should put my Evening Star in here. Do I have any holy weapons that are good here? Because like holy is plus 50% damage. This is two-handed, right? Yeah. I don't have like a Trishula hanging out on the floor or anything, do I? Nope. Okay, so there's a lot of enemies. But I am pretty strong. Oh, go down this... Well, I thought this door was going to lead me to something special. Alright. Can I should get back to the... You know what I'm going to do is... Even though I haven't... Oh, Khufu's super dangerous. Okay, we are teleporting out of here. This is one of the most dangerous enemies. This is like a royal mummy who can torment you a million times, and he comes equipped with more royal mummies. So like these guys can like double torment me. So I need to get out of here. Oh, the best teleport I've ever seen, everybody. We're teleporting again. I don't think I have a good maneuver here. You can't fear undead. Undead have no brains to be feared. I think this is a good time to use a haste potion. Kind of move away. Oh, they freaking removed my teleport. Okay, I need to blink away. We're gonna blink. And we're gonna blink. I don't like using blink scrolls, but sometimes it's smart. Crypt isn't usually that dangerous. That's like the most dangerous opening crypt floor I've ever seen. We're gonna stare dance for a little bit here. I'm gonna teleport out of this. Alright. I'm gonna heal. Bring guys up to... so, entrances to any branch are super dangerous. In fact, that I use 2 blink scrolls already kind of makes this entire endeavor not worth it. I just want to show off Crypt because, you know, you're probably curious. What is Crypt? Well, Crypt is a bunch of undead, and sometimes it's a bunch of undead who are actually dangerous. Let's get rid of my auto pickup for these slaying rings. These evasion rings, I don't need these anymore. If you press the backslash button, it'll let you, like, change your auto pickup rules. See, I'm turning off all these items I don't want anymore. I don't need resist corrosion. I don't need see invisibility. So I don't auto pick them up anymore. Where'd you go, Khufu? I need to make sure I kill that. There he is. I need to make sure I kill that guy so he's not like hanging out. In a one-on-one fight, this guy isn't as dangerous because he torments, and torment's dangerous, but torment's only really dangerous when there's a bunch of other guys around to hit you. Like reducing half your hit points is dangerous, but it can never kill you, right? Alright, so what I'm gonna do, I think I can just survive going up these stairs, fighting one-on-one, healing up, going up the stairs, healing up, upstairs, healing up. Alright, so I'm going to... How many MO scrolls do I have? I got 8. Yeah, we're going to MO these guys. These guys are like they don't have resistance to fire, so they're compared to most enemies, they're relatively weak. I'm gonna pop these tremor stones, which just hit everyone and catch them on fire. Mummies have like mediocre AC, so like hitting them with tremor stones is really effective. I've got good resist fire, so I can kind of stand in this fire and fight these guys. I can back up. I'm actually gonna go in the fire cloud and heal up. MOs are super dangerous because, as you can see, it blows up on you. But when you've got resist fire, you can kind of tank it. And now I've cleared out. This is one of the most dangerous crypt entrances I've ever dealt with, by the way. And the fact that it took 2 blink scrolls is pretty relevant. But I did pick up 5 boomerangs, which I'm kind of happy about. All right. But hey, I got +1 AC out of it. Let's go. Maybe that'll be worth it in the long run. Probably not. This is another reason why a lot of people skip crypt. It's like it's like a bad version of elf because the loot isn't nearly as good, and it's technically more dangerous, and you need more specific. Like the resists you need for elf are the elemental resistances. You need elemental resistances no matter what game you're playing. But in crypt you need a lot of resist negative, so you don't get tormented to death. And it's like a lot of the time you can just kind of ignore resist negative for most of the game. I can't in this game because I have entropy orbs, but you know, 2/3 of the time you don't even have entropy orbs, right? You have fire orbs or ice orbs, which those are the kind of resists you want for elf anyhow. Fire and cold are very common damage types in elf. Crypt also has cold damage because simulacrums are kind of undead and they do cold damage. Ooh, another acquirement scroll, sick. Another manual of shields, huh? I probably don't need that. This is a ring of resist cold and 6 strength. I'm going to take that. That's a direct improvement on my current ring. Oh, I should have saved it because I might have needed the money for the... I keep forgetting Crypt, just with this patch, has been given a super shop at the end, kind of like the Gozag shop you saw. But, I keep forgetting that because that was not in the game for the previous 15 years I've been playing it. Yeah, I should be saving my acquirement scrolls just in case I need the money for a cool Crypt shop. But Crypt tends to have a decent amount of money in it, so maybe I'll just get enough money here. I can fight all these guys no problem. Yeah, it is funny that I buffed up my Demon Whip before I started just using this Evening Star, because everything here resists cold, because undead are naturally resistant to cold, and everything here is undead, so... Or demons, same... Actually, this guy resists cold? Yeah, Reapers are like undead-themed demons or whatever, so they show up here. Crypt is only ever 3 levels. So, the 3rd level is, as you might expect, the most dangerous. That's a Bone Dragon. He's got like a Bone Dragon nasty breath. Just kill him. I'm gonna go up these stairs. Escape hatch. Just not worry about it. Oh, this is a fly ring too, so I can go ahead and drop this. Sick. Cleaning up my bloated inventory is nice. Ooh, here's a little teleport vault. Ooh. Artifact gloves that I'm probably not going to equip. Regular amulet, but +1 AC. I'll do anything for +1 AC, even almost kill myself. Oh, this is Frederick. He summons a servitor. He can blast you with spells, which is really annoying. But now these guys, this guy's resist cold, so kill that. Fight Frederick. It's really good to fight Frederick in a corridor like that with this servitor behind him, so he can't blast you. Let's clear out the rest of the zone before I check this, because I might need to teleport out. This is like a super dangerous little mini vault that you have to teleport in and take on all the enemies one-on-one, or like without any corridors to fight down. Like, it basically puts you into a situation you know is dangerous, but look at all the cool loot inside. It's very tempting. But the smartest thing to do is clear out the rest of the zone. So if you do need to teleport out, you don't have any enemies to teleport into. Alright. So I've cleared out the rest of the zone. I could probably handle this fight. So this is the most dangerous enemy here, the Vampire Blood Prince. If you right-click him, he has this ability called Ravenous Swarm. Unleashes a torrent of vampire bats, filling the air around the target. These vampire bats will gnaw on everything which isn't undead with a voracious hunger, and their bites will eventually even lull the victim to sleep. So it just does a bunch of damage while you're standing in the cloud, and it puts you to sleep automatically. So you need to, like, the best way to fight this guy is to put up a cloud around you, because you can't, clouds don't overlap. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finesse. This is a dangerous little zone. And I'm going to pop a might. And I'm going to go in. And I'm going to use a poison scroll, these guys are all immune to poison, but if I'm standing in a poison cloud, he can't use his little bat clouds against me. Now kill him. Kill this guy so I get my hit points back. Go back into the poison. Kill him. There we go. And no, I forgot this. The Reaper kind of blends into the tiles. I didn't see him there. Alright, there we go. That's how you buff up and kill a super dangerous zone, and let's check the loot. This sucks. Yeah, minus willpower, definitely not equipping. What's up, Big Lou? Amulet of Chemistry, that's garbage. So I got absolutely nothing here but a waste of resources. Let's double check, make sure I didn't miss anything. Maybe I'd need orb if I was using orbs instead of shields. Alright. So we can go ahead and drop that Amulet of Chemistry. I don't need this Amulet of Protection anymore. Definitely don't need 2 resist fire. Okay. Yep, so all I did was waste some of my resources, but you know, that's how you deal with a vault like that. Buff up. And I want to show off that enemy because that enemy is dangerous. I do have a lot of boomerangs now, so we can kind of just... Ooh, I've maxed out my fighting. Okay. So I'm at my max hit points, aside from leveling up. So now my best... Like, I have a manual of throwing and a manual of shields. Let's just get these up maxed, right? They're super cheap. They both increase my fighting capability, and they're pretty important. The only other... Oh, you know what I should do? You know what actually is even cheaper? Let's get a little Evo. Let's get like Evo up to 8. Evo is super cheap compared to all my other skills right now, and I still use it sometimes. I've got these corrosion wands and warp wands. Might as well get some value out of them. I don't think I ever explained it, but a protection brand just gives you plus 7 AC when you hit something. So it's like getting defense out of your offense. It's not usually ideal, but like on some characters who need AC, it's pretty useful. Alright, so here's a bunch of dangerous clouds that have been damaging me. I'm gonna back up. My problem is right now I'm getting kind of owned by my harm. Let's pop this poison clouds. This guy can't shoot his cloud into my cloud. Pop another one. Alright, so I'm slowed and I'm flayed. I need to get out of here. I got owned by my cloak that sometimes slows me when I take damage. That does make retreating harder. I'm losing a lot of my blink scrolls, which is not ideal, but I've committed to clearing crypt, so we're clearing crypt. Alligator snapping turtle Draugr. This is such a weird sprite. They put an alligator snapping turtle zombie on top of a skeleton body with a halberd. That's so weird. I guess it's like thematic that he has a halberd, because turtles are reach enemies. Yeah, so I actually kind of stumbled into the end vault there. Like I said, I normally want to clear out around the vaults before I fight them, so I have places to retreat to. Like this. Hey, look, a good staircase. On the right side, I woke those guys up and then brought them out, so now they're kind of just wandering around. Ooh, hey, here's a little mini vault that leads to the crypt, or the tomb. So tomb is super dangerous. I am not doing tomb this run. I'd have to change my god, and I've already kind of missed that boat by doing crypt without being shining one. Also, I'm using a demon whip. Admittedly, I could like just use my evening star. Let's kill this guy. There we go. Well, there's the end vault. Lots of fancy gear, and there's the super shop. Byries Gilded Reliquary. That's what's called a reliquary. It's like a super expensive, but always has like artifact items in it. Alright, jerk. Die. Stop shooting misery breath at me. That's what a bone dragon shoots. A breath made of misery. I was hoping to find like maybe a ring that's like got resist plus a little extra resist negative for my orb of entropy problems. But I should have just gone straight to Zot if I was like just trying to win. You'd probably just go straight to Zot. But hey, I got some XP out of this too. That's nice. That's something. All right, so there should be some guys still hanging around here, right? No? Okay. Well, here we go. Here's some jerks. I don't have any. Okay, so I don't have digging, so I can't get these guys out of here. You can't disintegrate these, right? That's old versions. You can't convoke these guys out? Nope. These guys will just kind of shoot magic at me from beyond these freaking iron grates, and I don't have a way to get them out. That sucks. I could, like, fog cloud. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this alarm trap, then go back around the corner. Make any enemies who are on the floor come at me. Alright, so there's none. I want to check out the shop. I mean, these guys aren't super dangerous. They can't, like, orb destruction me, but they can summon demons. That's annoying. Alright, so let's, like, go around these traps. Oh, hey, they broke out of the thing. Okay, that's good. That's fine. I can fight these guys in an actual fight. They're way less scary in an actual fight. Alright, got my Evo up. Let's start training these dodging and throwing. Kind of just get these up. I think it'll probably be, like, 24. Maybe, let's go 22 for this, and... I want to train these until the manuals run out. You can see this +4. This is a temporary +4. Once you put a certain amount of XP into it, it goes away. I think like around 22 and 21, those will be mostly gone. And we'll play it by ear from there. Ooh, all right. So guys just break out eventually if you run into the traps or something. I don't know. Do not need an amulet of the acrobat. All right, let's check out what's in the shop. All right, I do not have a lot of gold, but there's a granite talisman. That'd be good on some characters. Nothing I want, really. I can't equip this hat. This armor sucks. I'm not using longswords. This is worse than the current amulet I'm wearing, because I need the resist negative. I mean, a cheap granite talisman would be a game-saving item for a lot of characters, but you can see it's a bunch of artifact items, but none that I'm going to equip, so ultimately, not great. But hey, Bombard would have been a good spell on certain characters. Alright, so we've cleared Crypt. And now I can press Control O. And the only place I've visited so far is Zot, which is the end game, and Tomb, which I'm not doing, and Slime, which I'm not doing. Because Slime is... I've only got 2 Blink Scrolls left. I really need to conserve those, and Slime might use up my Blink Scrolls. So we are changing back to our better weapon, and we are going to Zot. So we're in the end game now. This is the final dungeon. And Zot is very dangerous, especially the opening, because just like with previous branches, the opening there's only one way in and out. You can't like mess around with it. So I'm gonna be as efficient as I can about killing these guys. Proc my slow immediately, which is annoying, but all right. This is a very good entrance so far. Oh yeah, with a quarter right beside it. Yeah, this is one of the best entrances I've ever seen, to be honest. Kill these moths. So this guy's really annoying. He can torment you the same way those mummies did to me, that they like immediately halves my health. You can also like summon a bunch of mushrooms. The mushrooms aren't super dangerous, but like they surround you and they hit hard. So like you really want to kill this guy, get in melee with him before he can like summon a bunch of like in a corridor like this to perfectly fight him. I know I say that for a lot of enemies, but like especially that guy, because what he'll do from a distance is surround you with mushrooms and then spam torment at you to lower your hit points, and then the mushrooms will hit you really hard. So, like, I mentioned earlier how Torment's only dangerous to those other guys to hit you. Well, that guy provides the other guys to hit you. He's actually a decent enemy to use an attraction potion on, which is... How many do I have? I have 5? Okay, well, plenty for the rest of the game, I think. Alright, let's clear out around my entrance. Hey, a golden dragon. Oh, here's the Orb of Entry. Okay, so this is the guy I was super worried about. He's got a Bolt of Draining. Fires a penetrating bolt of negative energy, which drains any living creature it strikes. 3d36. That is basically 102 damage. It's a draining version of that Crystal Spear spell that the elf I was talking about. He's also got this Acid Ball spell, which is corrosive damage. I did get Resist Corrosion Gloves. Resist Corrosion was an important get for me. So this is all even better damage, 3d38. And this is the most interesting thing about this enemy, aside from the fact that it uses like 2 rare damage types to shoot you. It bends the Weave of Fate against target, inflicting significant doom. Once you build up doom, you eventually get hit with a Bane, and Banes are like really nasty, like long-term but not permanent downsides. Like the best thing I could compare it to would be a mutation, but basically I want to kill this guy very quickly. I'm in melee, which is my preferred spot to be against this guy. He's put me at 35% in Doom, but I killed him. In a one-on-one fight, an Orb of Entropy is not that dangerous if you have the right resistances, and I do have the correct resistances for that fight. Oh, hey, Enchant Armor Scroll. Let's get my 51st AC. All right. Make sure I'm not messing up anything else on my scrolls. All right, yeah, we're good. It might even be worth like using a Resist Potion on that guy just to get one more pip of Resist Negative, because I do have Harm up, which kind of like offsets some of the resistances, but not that worried about it. All right, these are all... Oh, hey, another Orb of Entropy. Okay, so... there's a bunch of guys here. Is Ill Omen smite targeting? Cannot be used if there are obstructions. Okay, so I don't have to worry about that. So I can throw javelins at this guy. These are the strongest enemies in the game, so I'm going to use my best javelins. Might as well. I'm going to actually let this guy live while I throw javelins. Okay, well. Alright, killed him. Cool. And there's another guy. Let's throw javelins at him. Alright, he's dead. Cool. Alright, so we can kind of fight these guys one-on-one in this corridor now. Go back to my boomerangs, so I don't want to waste javelins. I need those for the orbs. There we go. With my throwing manual, my boomerangs are actually doing more damage than my attacks, aren't they? They are slower, but this is at 68 base damage. This is at 48 base damage. Though this is getting bonus damage from my freezing, and it does have much faster attack delay. But these boomerangs are hitting hard. 68 damage is no joke from a boomerang. It's only going to go up as I increase my throwing skill. Alright, let's back up to this corridor, and let's throw some boomerangs, baby. I've got 22. That'll probably get me to the end game, for the end of Zot. Zot has 5 levels. This is a good time to just use up your temporary supplies of stuff, like throwing weapons and potions. You do need a little bit left over for the final leg of the game, which is the escape with the orb. But we'll get there when we get there. I don't want to trigger that Zot orb if I can help it. Alright, yeah. I do have flying. I gotta remember it, because I can like just kind of hang out around lava like that. It's pretty nice. Alright. So Zot 1 complete. So I've got 9 Revelation Scrolls. I might as well just use a Revelation Scroll on every place I go to. Ooh, this is an interesting one. This looks like an Executioner sprite tile. Pretty interesting little looking level. Looks like someone came in here with a wand of digging and had their way with it, which I don't mind. It means I have these like little corridors I can duck into. I'll make sure I didn't drop anything on Zot. Nope, okay. When you look up Control F, I'm looking up artifacts to make sure I didn't miss anything on Zot 1. It'll the results elsewhere will show you everything by like in order of how close it is to you. You'll see like things on depth 4. This is the closest artifact to me. This armor on depth 4. What's up, Big Lou? Throwing boomerangs. Just press the F button, throwing a boomerang. Let's move up back into this corridor here. Oh, my asthma drink. I need to heal up. Okay, this guy is just summoning drakes on me. I gotta javelin him. Alright. The damage I took from the miasma inflicted, like, one of the nastiest pieces of part of my gear is, like, I need this for my resist electricity and my willpower, but it's got this negative side effect called slow. Whenever I take damage, it might slow me, which is really annoying, but you just have to bear with it. Sometimes your gear has downsides, but you need the gear. And you don't want to be caught in Zot without lightning resistance, because there's these things called electric golems, which are criminally dangerous. I'm going to finesse with this guy and beat him up. He did do me once, but I'm good otherwise. Ooh, okay. Alright, so my throwing did finish up that manual. So we're going to get that shield up while the manual's still active, and it's still an efficient get. We're boomeranging, baby. You see how effective throwing weapons are. Like, I'm just throwing these boomerangs, man. I'm basically a ranged character, but I'm melee. Oh, I got Malevolenced into in Zot, and I dropped 2... I've had some really nasty shafts this game. Okay. Let's kill these guys. Let's see if there's anything up... Okay, this is a much safer staircase to hang around. Alright, cool. Up, shields are still good. 23. These guys are annoying because when you kill them, they explode into these things called aspiring flesh, which have tons of hit points, and eventually turn into hasted random enemies throughout the game. They're usually not that strong, but any hasted enemy is kind of dangerous in its own right. Alright, let's back up down this corridor. This guy is annoying. He could hit me from behind, so let's throw a boomerang at him. Back up so only one guy with a forearm can hit me. There we go. Throw a boomerang. So Dread Liches are Ancient Liches are super dangerous because they have these, like... This guy also has, like, a Corrosive Bolt that's as damaging as that. 3D39, that's, like, basically the same damage as the, Orb that you saw, the Orb of Entry. They're not nearly as tough, though. Worse resistances, worse AC, worse hit points. but they can like petrify you if your willpower is low, so you gotta be careful about that. A way to deal with liches, which I'll show up on the next lich, hey, here's another one, is they're kind of like low EV. You'll see, it only has 2 EV. That makes them super susceptible to having a net thrown on them, and while they're netted, they're like way less dangerous. Alright, so I have no other good things to put my stats into, really. Let's get dodging up. Dodging's my next cheapest thing. Let's get like dodging up to 20. That'll probably do for the rest of my experience for the rest of the game. It's my best defense that cost-wise for my experience at this point. Because I've maxed out armor, I've maxed out fighting. Shields is already as good as it needs to be. Throwing boomerangs. Alright, back up around the corner. Throwing boomerangs. These little guys, I don't mention them a lot, but these are like one of the most dangerous things about Zot is these guys are just everywhere, and they will randomly berserk their allies, and berserk makes enemies like more than twice as dangerous. They attack twice as fast, and they hit harder. So like they're like 210 to 250% more dangerous, depending on how much the damage bonus affects their particular set of statistics. Is how I would best describe it. Alright, well, this is a bunch of guys. Let's get to this corridor. Ooh, it's Tiamat! Here's a unique, I believe, Zot only enemy. This is a very big-looking draconian enemy. They have tons of AC. They hit like a truck. Like, you see this damage. This is over 100 damage. I do have flame resistance, so it's not that bad. But they hit twice with an extra 45. They have 385 hit points. I believe that's the highest hit point enemy I've seen so far this game. And they have, you know, not crazy resistances, but they always also come, like, surrounded by draconians. So, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to back up. I'm going to haste. He also has the ability blink. Ooh. Oh no, he doesn't have it. Who has the ability to blink the enemies around me? Like, here it is. Yeah, they are. You know, they come with all the draconian types. This has blink, encircling allies, which is really annoying. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duel this guy. Now we are in a one-on-one fight. I haven't shown off duel very much this game because it doesn't come up very often. But now I can fight this guy one-on-one, mano-a-mano. We're fighting. I've got tons of MO scrolls. I'm going to MO scroll him because he's not resistant to fire. I'll throw boomerangs at him while he closes the distance. I'm just going to do tons of damage. I'm going to get on his face and beat him. Bam! Now there's one less really dangerous enemy. And I can kill these guys. And bam! Now I'm in a corridor. This guy can't blink encircling me anymore very well. I'm going to pop another MO scroll because there's a huge group of annoying enemies. And I'm going to throw javelins at them. Now they're going to all explode. My fire resistance is pretty good, so I kind of stand in this fire cloud killing these guys while they explode. And I'll back up. There you go. That's how you deal with Tiamat. When you're Okowaruing. Kill Tiamat, blow up all of his buddies. Escape to a corridor. Tiamat always drops this Unrandart Aegis. If you do not need your cloak for like resistance purposes, this is a really cool cloak because it's got +4 AC. Regular cloaks can't get that much AC. And it kind of like, whenever you get hit with a damage type, it will give you resistance to that damage type. Unfortunately, I really kind of just want to have Elec always on. I don't want to get hit with electricity damage and then get electricity resistances. And it also doesn't give me the willpower I need, so it's not better than my current cloak, but if your cloak isn't great, it's a great cloak to pick up. Really cool item, though. Really interesting. It kind of like emulates one of the god abilities. So here's a funny interaction. So I have Reflect on my amulet, which means like it reflects blocked missile attacks. So whenever I block, a missile has a chance to go back at the enemy. Orbs of Destruction are super high damage. That purple orb you saw coming at me, but they are missiles. The Lich launches a ball of destructive magic at me. You block the Orb of Destruction and reflect it back. The Orb of Destruction hits the Lich dies. He blew himself up. I rolled really high damage on him. Alright, we can clear out this zone. The Lich, beat him up. There's a bunch of jerks. This is another MO scroll position. Like, I have 5 MO scrolls, I might as well use them. Blow up all these jerks. Bam. Back to my boomerangs. Back up to this corridor. Hit him with a boomerang. Alright, cool. I only got 13 boomerangs left, but we are near the end of Zot. There's I've already cleared level 3, there's only level 4 and level 5 left, so. I do need to go back up and clear level 2. You technically don't have to clear Zot the way I'm doing it. You can kind of just clear out a single path up and down. But, you know, I'm capable of it, and I've got might as well get the XP out of it, right? And it makes the escape a little safer, because, you know, if you clear out the zone, there's no enemies, you can't randomly, like, go up a staircase and, like, an enemy migrated to the staircase you were planning on escaping out of. But if you're worried about, like, your turn count, like, there are versions of the... People sometimes play the game to, like, win as quickly as possible. This does increase my time, so that's not good. Yeah, 1,500 gold. I don't think there's anything I got everything I wanted gold-wise, so yeah, we're good. Hey, another scroll of requirement. Got anything for this late game? A staff I don't need, some bad armor, a talisman I don't need. Okay, thanks for the gold, I guess. At this point in the game, I've kind of got the gear I need to win, so the requirements are just, like, nifty. Requirements are really exciting when you get them early on, like, they give you, like, a really good weapon or a really good piece of gear. At this point, I'd rather, like, have 3 boomerangs dropped than a scroll of requirements. Alright, so I cleared out this zone. For the most part, there's almost always, like, a couple enemies you kind of miss just randomly. But as long as it's mostly cleared out, you're not going to get any major surprises. Alright, let's go back down to Zot 4. These are annoying enemies. They suck up your MP. Very dangerous for a spellcaster. Not super dangerous for a melee guy who's only using his MP to, like, sometimes buff himself up, but otherwise just do a little extra damage. Alright, I've reached my max level. One more level up to strength. So I am as strong as I'm getting level-wise, but I can still increase my skills. 27 is the last level, but you can still increase your skills with XP. Oh, I've been accidentally leveling my evocations. I don't need that anymore. 11's more than enough. It's not bad, but I haven't had need for them just yet. Evocations are useful against Draconians, like Fear Scrolls still work on them. Might have been useful in that Tiamat fight, but I'm pretty strong, so I didn't need it. Hey, look, you can see it's got a little special sprite. It's got a little special animation or visualization to it. It's kind of like the Vault Staircase, but it doesn't give you the information, because Zot 5 is supposed to be a surprise to new players. Ooh, there's that guy you don't want to fight in the open, and I'm out in the open. Let him come to me, close the distance, and kill him. There we go. As you see, a bunch of mushrooms around me, making it hard to escape. So the idea is, like, he sees you from a distance, he surrounds you with mushrooms so you can't charge him or escape, and then he cuts your life in half multiple times. That's what that guy's, like, designed to do. It's just a toe. It's a cursed toe. It's a very crawl-specific enemy, I believe. It's probably inspired by something I'm not aware of. Alright, so I've cleared out Zot 4. Now this is the final level of the game, Zot 5. And it has its own unique enemies and its own unique mechanics. So we're going to reveal the scroll. So Zot 5 always kind of looks something like this. It always has these things called the lungs. And in here is the final area. This is the final little corridor. And then this center here is the Orb of Zot, the thing we were trying to get and escape with. Now, once you get past this little foyer right here, this little area that my mouse is at, is where Orb Guardians start showing up. And the second you kill an Orb Guardian, there's this thing called a Tesseract that activates. And Tesseracts are located here or here in this unseen terrain right here. And basically, a Tesseract it's completely new to this version. I've dealt with a few times in runs that aren't this that I've been playing off stream, and they're not that dangerous, but they do force you to play a certain way. So in the past, people would be very careful around Zot. They'd pull enemies out slowly and kill them slowly. The same way you've been seeing me do all game. Pull these guys back into a corridor. Fight them one-on-one. Fight it as safe as possible. Tesseracts constantly spawn enemies every so many turns. So the slower you deal with Zot, the more enemies they spawn. So the idea of pulling out enemies slowly one at a time and killing them means you're going to have more enemies spawning, thus making your game more difficult. So it forces you to have a strategy to kill enemies quickly, to rush down the Tesseract and kill it. Now, that does not mean be reckless. Recklessness will still get you killed. It means expend resources to regain things like hit points and mana points so you can keep pushing forward. For instance, I got these potions I rarely use called ambrosia potions, which confuse you, but if you stand still while confused, it'll increase your regeneration of your health and mana very quickly. So like you can clear out a bunch of enemies, pop an ambrosia potion. The Tesseract isn't going to spawn enemies fast enough to interrupt you on an ambrosia potion. You'll heal up pretty quickly, and then you can keep pushing forward. That's the idea. The other thing I tend to want to do is clear out the area behind me. I don't want enemies coming behind me as the Tesseract happens. I get marked. I'm going to immediately pop a cancellation potion. I do not want Orb of Guardians coming out for me. That was that's the second worst malevolence you can get in Zot 5. The worst one is being teleported like into the lungs. There's tons of enemies filling up these lungs, by the way, so hey, more javelins, I'll take it. Yeah, I want to clear out this area behind me. Make sure my staircases are clear, just in case I have to. You typically don't want to like retreat all the way to a staircase to heal up, but sometimes you do. I kill these guys quickly. Don't cause too much noise. Alright, so I've cleared out this. Let's go up here. Clear out around the side. Clear out around my staircase here. Alright, so the second I turn this corner, I can start seeing into here. The Orb Guardians are going to come, so it's good for me. It's important to like come up with a strategy. So you can, when you reveal Stroll, it reveals all the traps on the floor. And you kind of want to see what like the best direction is. Sometimes these little corridors, and there's always these two little 1x1 corridors here. Sometimes these are covered with a trap, and you don't really have a choice. But what you want to do is avoid the worst traps. So what are the worst traps here? Net traps, alarm traps, and Zod traps are the ones you kind of want to avoid. Dispersals are kind of annoying, but you can maybe deal with that. Teleport traps aren't too bad because you can like teleport to safety sometimes. So I think the best option here is go to this one because like there's only one net trap, and the Zod traps are kind of at the bottom here, and I can kind of avoid those. Because if I came over to the left-hand side, you'll see, you know, there's a Zod trap right by where the Tesseract's at, and there's an alarm trap right where the Tesseract's at. And if I fight over here and a guy trips this alarm, then all the guys from this right-hand side are going to start coming for me immediately. So I'm definitely going to go to the left-hand side. So what I want to do is... Alright, so here's an Orb Guardian. The second I kill an Orb Guardian, the Tesseract starts. So I want to be ready to go. So what I'm going to do is, I have these haste potions, time to use them. Time to buff up. I'm going to kill things as fast as I can. And here you go. I've killed an Orb Guardian. The Orb Guardian broadcasts a psychic alarm as it dies. You feel the power of Zot begin to gather its forces. I'm suddenly afflicted with a Tesseract condition. I can now see on the map these boundless Tesseracts. So what you need to do is, when you kill one, you kill the other one. So you only have to go for one of them. So I'm going to... Oop! That guy dispersed me, but... Also, I think maybe like Orb Guardians become aware of your presence, like a pseudomorph. I'm not sure. So I want to get down here. While I'm buffed up. Alright, so here's some enemies. It's a good time to start using javelins, I think. Alright, there's only one guy, so we'll go back to Boomerang. Back to Boomerang on one guy. Alright. I'm not going to stop to pick up my throwables. They do not matter. I need to kill this Tesseract, if I can, relatively quickly. Alright, this guy is around the corner from me. I'm going to finesse here. Because I had a turn there, I couldn't hit him, so I might as well use that turn doing something. And finessing is good. Can I javelin here and hit two guys? Nope. Alright, back to Boomerang then. Alright, I've gotten all the dodging my game once, I guess. Alright, so I'm just gonna generally level up these two skills. Maces, throwing, and dodging. Any amount of points I get in here is going to be useful, so it's fine. I'm gonna move one square forward. Throw some boomerangs. Alright, well, I hit a dispersal trap, which is fine. It's actually not even bad here. I am running low on boomerangs. Okay, there's an orb. I want to kill that orb as fast as possible. Silver Javelins do the most damage. So Silver Javelins, as you can see, 82 damage, which is like way more than my melee does. It's the same as regular Javelins, but Silver Javelins have like this silver effect attached to them, which just makes them always do like a decent amount more damage as a flat amount. So like they're your best weapon. Even they're especially effective against undead and demon enemies, but they're still just the best damage item you can have on melee character. Alright, so we're going to go back to regular javelins. So I can hit multiple guys here. Now go back to boomerang, so I can only hit one guy. Back to javelins. I can hit two guys. So what I want to do here, if I can, is I want to... Now I can see the Tesseract. I'm going to equip my silver javelin. I'm trying to kill this Tesseract with javelins. This is like one of the best strategies I found as a melee character to kill the Tesseract. Because what ends up happening is there's a bunch of enemies in front of them. You might get hit with these freaking dispersal traps which move you around. But if you can get line of sight on this guy and just throw javelins at it, bam, it blows up. And when the Tesseract blows up, all the enemies around you get stunned for a certain amount of turns, making them susceptible to getting their butts kicked. It's just a bunch of free turns, basically. Alright, I think it was like 10 free turns there. Now I can just fight... Oh, here's that electric golem I was talking about. Normally I see a lot more of these guys in Zot, but these guys like do a bazillion damage. I know it only looks like, hey, 30 damage and 30 damage, but they also electrify you when they hit you 4 times a piece, which is potentially 22 damage. If you don't have electricity resistance and this guy attacks you, you might just instantly die. Like, it's not a joke. He's way faster than you, so like he's attacking faster too. It's just... They're super dangerous. That's all I'm going to say. Alright, so I've cleared the Tesseract. I've cleared out this lung. Org Guardians, they've heard me. I'm gonna go ahead and I don't need to race. Once you've killed the Tesseract, you do not need to rush anymore. I don't need to run in and like clear out the zone or anything. I can do the thing where I'm very careful, take steps back. So what I'm afraid of the most here is this alarm trap going off. It won't go up as long as I don't see it, so like, if I can bring guys out of here... Oh, well, I pressed the tab button and now the alarm hit me. This is going to be the last cancellation I need, so I'm going to go ahead and pop it. Alright. So we can just go around this corner and like hit these guys till they die. Alright, heal up. Fight this guy. Clowns are kind of annoying. They always have like a really highly enchanted club, which hits pretty hard. They also like throw pies at you, which have a million different effects they can apply on you when they hit you. They can blind you, they can remove your ability to drink potions, they can silence you. That's the nastiest one on a Spellcaster. They're really annoying and they blink around. That's the only way I can describe them. They're just really annoying. They apply random status effects at you from a distance. Alright, so that's another orb. Back to silver javelins. Kill them quick. Alright, so here's the Orb of Zot. Just to be safe, I'm going to try to clear out this lung to the right of me. I don't have any mutations. Cool. Alright. I don't want any surprises. Oh, there's no orb. Okay, so we're going to finesse. Going to silver javelin. You don't have to do this. You could have just picked up the orb and go out the left-hand side, but sometimes I get unlucky with that, and like guys will come in from the lungs and cut me off midway, and I don't like that. Now I've got these javelins. I might as well use them. Oop, go back to regular javelins. Don't have any orbs here. Hey, more javelins. Thanks. Oop, bam. Get jabbed. Alright. Back to boomerangs. Alright, now back to javelins. Alright. Can I heal up now? Okay, I can heal up. I do want to pick up these javelins for the final run. Alright, so I believe I've mostly cleared this out. Okay, well, you're just a regular guy. I can just fight you. So, the safest thing to do is, like, get the orbs out and then go out the way you came, but I'm strong enough I think I can clear. And I've still got all my... I didn't use a single blink scroll here, which is pretty nice. Okay, so, here we are. I've cleared out the entirety of Zot 5, which is a little extra. I didn't really need to do that. I'm going to pick up my javelins. Press the O button, pick up all my stuff. I'm not worried about my turn count here. And here we are. This is not really the hardest thing in the game. It's just the final thing in the game. The hardest thing in the game is like clearing Zot 5 and the super early game where you don't know what's going to happen. Like you're relatively weak and you have fewer options. In the end game, you saw how many options I had. I have all these buffs. I have all these throwing weapons. I have a really strong weapon. You know, I have this thing called Gale's Gravitambourine. I've never used this, and this is the best item in my inventory. I might just show it off during the Zot run. But here's the Orb of Zot. An invaluable artifact. Once you have escaped to the surface with it, your quest is complete. So the goal here is to pick up this item and then escape from the opening door that you started the game in. And once you pick up this item, the game will start suddenly spawning a bunch of pandemonium and hell-based enemies around you, trying to kill you because you have the orb. You'll see this little aura I've got around me. I've been affected by the orb status condition, and now we are going to leave. We are getting out of here. And you'll see eventually, hey, look, a demon just kind of randomly spawned out of the ether. The demonic crawler. Hey, look, some demon spawns. This guy just sapped me, which will mess up my spellcasting. The primary thing you want to do, if you can, is just avoid them. Because if you can go down some stairs and they don't follow you down the stairs because they're not next to you, you just get out of the way. Bam. But if they're in your way, kill them and get it and keep going. So you kind of want to like find your closest staircase and go there. I suppose that would be here. Look, a bunch of hellhounds from hell come to get me. I don't think I can show it off, but like, hey, here's an escape hatch. Just go up the escape hatch. And here's the ore. Go all the way to this little dot here. That's the only exit out. Nothing super dangerous so far, but eventually some guys will spawn on me. This is my closest staircase, I believe. Boop. Actually, that was, but it doesn't really matter. Alright, boop. Technically, the best way to go is like press Control F, type dungeon, and you can click E, and this will technically take you on the shortest path to the escape. But it does get interrupted frequently. And it's not always E, obviously. It's just the bottom option because it is the most furthest away place you can go. But this will technically path you the fastest you can. But I'm not a super big fan of using this method unless you're doing turn count stuff, because you know, you'll pass by staircases that you might want to escape out of to avoid enemies. Like, for instance, now I can just go down this staircase and avoid this enemy. Bam. And look, it leads me next to this staircase, which is just fine. Admittedly, now I'm very far away from any of these staircases, but, you know. No Pandemonium Lords yet. Okay, so I want to show off this item that I never got to show off, I believe. The Grav Tambourine is, like, really good at taking a bunch of enemies and putting them in a space away from you. So, like, I can, like... It's in a square, and basically every enemy will be moved towards the center of the square. So, if I put it right here, boom, all these guys get teleported away from me, and now they're in these little spots, and they're, like, rooted here. It, like, roots them to that spot. And, like, they're hurt and rooted based on, like, your evocation skill. Like, you can see, like, those guys, I could have just walked away from them, no problem. It's got 2 charges. It's, like, an amazing item. I probably should have used it more often throughout the game. It's just, like... It's so powerful, you don't want to use it just in case something dangerous comes around the corner. Hey, a Pandemonium Lord. These guys are so funny. So, there's technically 4 named Pandemonium Lords who are always the same, but otherwise, there's like, it procedurally generates random Pandemonium Lords with, like, within a range, they have random hit points, defenses, and they get, like, random spells. This guy has a Corrosive Bolt that's even more powerful than that Orb of Entry I was talking about. It's like 43 damage instead of 39 damage. But here's a cool way to use the Grav Tambourine. I'm going to haste myself. Then I'm going to Grav Tambourine. Oh. I'm going to get these guys away from me. And I'm going to run away. So I don't have to fight these guys. Because they won't follow me down the stairs unless they're right next to me. And that's like one of those common things that happens on a Zot run. Just blow your resources and run away. See, like, that spawned another Pandemonium Lord. I do not like that. I'm just going to run away. I could probably beat those Pandemonium Lords in a fight, but why risk it, right? Just, you don't have to. You are winning the game. Oh, I killed Crazy Yeov, so I can't bring him with me. It's like, this guy's a jerk, but I have these haste potions. I'm just going to run away from him. He can't catch me. I'm hasted. Technically, he's faster than me, but I'm fast enough with haste to get away while he's trying to cast spells and just go up this freaking hatch. Bam, gone. I'm not fighting these monsters. I'm escaping with my life. Hey, here's the end of the dungeon. Boom. And that is a 1 game of crawl. I escaped with the obsidian axe. It's pretty fun. And there you go. So, the funny thing is, I won this game with significantly worse gear than I had on my previous game, where I was only up to, like, the first S branch. And that's the fate of crawl. It's not always about what gear you have and how powerful and lucky you are. It's about how you play. And when your mind's in the game and you're playing correctly, and I played this game much better than I did before on the other game, because I didn't make that one stupid mistake, you can win. Especially when you have a powerful character like the Minotaur fighter. And it'll show you, these are some test games I was doing to make sure nothing changed, but here's some winning games. Here's Fortune. I was doing a octopode run off stream. I really love octopodes. Here's that game where I died, the one in Shoals, and your point total is based on how many runes you get and how fast you play the game. This game took me 100,000 turns because I was playing pretty cautiously, and 4 hours and 47 minutes of real in-game time on stream. All right, well, we've got like another hour or two before I gotta go. Oh, hey, you can see my my name here. See users David, App Data, Roman, Crawl, Morg. If I wanted to like upload the run to you guys, I could kind of show you the breakdown. But that's it. Goodbye, Tukum. You have won the game. Here's a character I was playing off stream. This is one of my favorite combos, Null Forge Right of Chibriatos, but you don't have to see that. Now what I'm going to do, and this is something, maybe I should start on another stream, but why not start it here, right? I'm just streaming for fun. I'm going to show you the spellcasting background. So that was the melee run. That is, I think, the most typical melee run you could imagine. Find a good weapon, train up throwing, go into Okawaru, get heavy armor, bust through the game with consumables and weapons and throwing. Pretty straightforward. Spellcasters are much more complicated and I think much more interesting, especially if you're new. You see how old this game is, 1997 to now, which is 2026. So we're going to start a new game. So I think... So if you're going to like pick, oh, who's the most spellcasty race? It's probably a Deep Elf. Deep Elves are good at all kinds of magic and they have like innate mana regeneration properties, but they're super frail and it's really hard to play them because they die super fast if you're not careful. I think probably the most common spellcaster combo and the best one for a new player is a Gargoyle. Gargoyles are naturally good at earth magic. They are an earth-based, they're made of stone, right? They have important early game resistances, like resistance to poison, that really help. They also have low hit points, so it's not like you're not getting the entire spellcaster experience, because with low hit points, things that bypass your defenses are very dangerous. So we're going to do a Gargoyle, and we're going to do an Earth Elementalist, and this is the most standard Gargoyle path. Gargoyles are really good at Earth Elemental backgrounds and at melee backgrounds. And we're going to call myself 3-tone instead of 2-tone. Alright, so let's get into how spellcasting works. So, you kind of had a primer on spellcasting in the previous run with my god Okawaru. Okawaru gave me special abilities, but I had to train up a skill called Invocations. I can kind of show you all of my skills here by pressing asterisk. And how good my Invocations was improved my success rate on my special abilities. That's how magic works, but magic has this many separate schools. So to be good at magic, you can't really just pick one school most of the time. Maybe summonings. You could probably get up to... There's probably a challenge run where you only train spellcasting and summonings, and you can win the game pretty easily. But you kind of have to pick and choose and change what you're leveling based on what spells you learn. So what I like to do, and this is a pretty common thing, is I like to get my spellcasting such that I'm not miscasting. So if I look at my spell here, it's called Sandblast. I have a 4% chance to fail. Considering I only have 3 mana, if I miss a spell, that's very dangerous. Because I can only cast it 3 times, so I might have to start punching guys, and I don't want to do that. So I would like to get my Earth Magic up pretty quickly, so that's no longer miscastable. I'd also like to get my spellcasting up so I have more mana, but we're going to get this up to 4 first. So let's check my spells. So you always start with level 1 spell when you pick a spellcasting background. In this case, I get Sandblast. Sandblast is one of the better, I would say, level 1 spells. It's not the best. The best is Foxfire on the Fire Elementalist, but it's pretty good because nothing resists its damage. It's just physical damage. The downside is it takes a turn and a half to cast. If you remember the melee combat I was talking about, where like your turn time, I can even just demonstrate right now. See, taking a step costs me 1 turn of time, but if I cast a spell, it takes me 1.5 turns of time. If I cast a spell again, I suddenly lose a turn in between 2 and 3 to 4, right? That would have cost me 2 turns, so if an enemy was right next to me, they would have gotten 2 chances to hit me. So that's how spellcasting works with Sandblast. Most spells only cost 1 turn. There's a couple of exceptions, like spells based on your melee attack will go as fast as your melee attack goes, but Sandblast is unique in the fact that it's really strong. It's got pretty good damage for a level 1 spell, and it's not very well resisted, but it's slow. So that means you kind of want to get your other spells online fast because they're not slow, and sometimes you need to kill things quickly. The other important thing about Gargoyle is you have lots of resistances. Because you're made of stone instead of flesh, you naturally resist electricity. That's super useful in the early game because you don't want to turn a corner into an electric eel and immediately die because you're a weak little spellcaster. Secondly, you have a little bit of base resist negative. That's pretty nice. And most importantly, you are immune to poison. My previous character was resistant to poison. I could still get poisoned and take damage from like poison clouds and such, but I am immune to it. That's super valuable. That means enemies who bite you and do poison damage are significantly less dangerous. Also, I naturally gain AC as I level up. This is why gargoyles are such tempting spellcasters. Spellcasters can't train strength to equip heavy armor to increase their AC. Gargoyles naturally get AC just from leveling up. As I level up, I'll get more and more AC. And eventually, once I hit level 14, I'll get free flying too, which is pretty nifty. Also, I'm resistant to torment, which will come up in the late game. You saw guys tormenting me just recently, like that toe guy who cuts my hit points in half, right? So gargoyles are pretty good against like those kind of guys because resist negative also reduces torment damage. Like this combo makes you pretty resistant to torment. There is one super major caveat of all of this. I have 10 hit points. I don't remember how many hit points I had on my Minotaur, but I started off with a lot more and I got a lot more as I leveled up. Gargoyles naturally have low hit points. If you remember, one of the most common early game enemies that kill people are Orc Priests. They have an ability that does 7 to 17 damage just automatically. So if I turn a corner into an Orc Priest, I can automatically die. So before I get to D2, which is where Orc Priests can start showing up, I want to get a little bit more hit points. So I'd like to get my fighting up 1 point. Thankfully, gargoyles do have a positive fighting aptitude, so it's not too bad. Once I get my Sandblast like a little bit better and I get a little bit more success rate on it, I will start training fighting to immediately get hit points. So here's the nice thing about spellcasting. You kill everyone from a distance. I know I was doing that with my throwing earlier, but you know, that guy never had a chance to even hurt me. I'd blast him with a spell. I'm going to let this guy come to me. Let him get in range. Blast him with a spell. Now, my spell is slow, so if it has a chance to miss too, which is pretty annoying, but, you know, I just killed that kobold, no threat. He did drop a weapon, which I will pick up. Oh, hey, my aptitude on Earth is so good that it just went up immediately. So I'm going to get that point of... I'm going to get like 3 points of fighting before I do anything else. Because I really, really, really need hit points on this character so I don't immediately die. I can do most of the early game with just Sandblast killing things. And I can even like hit him with a weapon. It's not too bad. But what you can't survive is a guy who does damage at a distance from you. Like if I turn the corner into an enemy who has a ranged weapon, that's super dangerous for me right now. And hey, I've leveled up. I've got 60 hit points now. I'm almost out of range of being immediately one-shot by an Orc Priest. Alright, the other caveat with magic is you have mana. These mana points. Your spells cost as much mana as their level. So level 1 spell costs 1 mana. Level 2 spell costs 2 mana. Etc, etc. There are some spells that you like channel or like will give you an effect that constantly drains your mana, so you keep getting that effect. But for the most part, that's how spellcasting works with magic. So one of the biggest bottlenecks is when like you're fighting a bunch of enemies and you just run out of mana, right? You can imagine like how many enemies you saw me fighting on my my Minotaur. Like if I had to Sandblast each and every one of those guys to kill them, I would run out of mana so fast. So it's even more important on a spellcaster to pick and choose your fight and fight enemies from distance and pull them aside. Hey, +2 boots. I'll take 3 free AC. Thank you. Gargoyles also have like a really good armor aptitude. So even if I'm not wearing heavy armor, like just for my auxiliary armor, it's pretty decent to like get some points in armor eventually. But you do naturally get armor. Ooh, hey, Faith Amulet. That's not going to be relevant for me because I'm going to go with the Humit. Well, I mean, I might as well equip it when I do find my god. So the most common gargoyle combo here is the Humit, who is the god of destructive magic, and I think pretty good. It's the easiest magic god. The other good choice is typically Sif Muna or Ashen-Zari. I think Ashen-Zari is probably the best of the three, but we will be doing the Humit just because I like the spell selection, and it's a pretty good starter god, and I want to introduce you guys to starter god. So I have 5 hits, 17 hit points thanks to my leveling up of fighting. I can almost survive an Orc Priest if I randomly turn into one. So this is a very scary staircase because Orc Priest could show up on Dungeon 2, and if I go down the staircase and I see an Orc Priest and I wake him up, he can immediately kill me, and there's nothing I can do about it. This happens. There's just some percentage of the time you cannot stop that. Sometimes you don't get enough experience on D1 to even get your fighting up enough to get the hit points you need not to die to it. And I would have liked to get to the level 3 before I go down to D2 if I could help it, so I don't immediately die to an Orc Priest if I see one, but, you know, That's the risk of crawl, and it's why the early game is the most dangerous aspect of crawl. It's like there's just some things out of your control sometimes. It's pure luck if I went down that staircase and there was no orc priest waiting for me. Oh, jackals. Our jackals always come in groups, so you want to pull one away when it spots you. So here's like an enemy who shoots me from a distance. He can do 3 damage, but you know, that's pretty dangerous if like he's at max distance. So here's the thing as a spellcaster, you want to train intelligence because it improves your spell casting. So now that I've gained intelligence, my sandblast is at 3% instead of 4%. Isn't that nice? That guy's got a staff. What kind of staff is that? Ooh, let's back up. There's a bunch of enemies. Alright, so this is taxing my mana. But these guys are pretty weak for the early game, so I can't just hit them with my whip. Alright. That was a little bit dangerous. A little bit dangerous there. Staff of Air, that's not super relevant. I've already got resist electricity. Ooh, a quick blade. Holy crap. I might just use that for the rest of the game. Holy hell. So quick blades are like the best short blade weapon. They need a lot of skill to use. So it's actually worse than my whip right now. But once you get the skill up, they attack twice per action, basically. They have as much damage as a dagger, which is the least less in the game. But they attack twice. I just found a +8 artifact hand axe on D3 on the gargoyle I just started. Very fun. Hey, a hand axe is a pretty good early game weapon because it's got it's a low skill weapon with a pretty low base delay. Quick blades are super good though. I mean, maybe I'm going to start transitioning to daggers. I'll take a +6 ring of dex. It's not going to do a whole lot for me because I don't have any dodging skill yet, but it will eventually. Oh, ha ha! This is one of the best items to get early in the game that isn't like an artifact. I found a Staff of Earth. So staves are much more important on mages. I basically completely ignored them when I was playing my Minotaur because they're for spellcasters. And I'm a spellcaster this time. A staff that increases the power of earth spells. That's super important. Also, when you hit guys, it does like a earth-based damage attack based on your evocations and earth magic. Increasing your earth magic and your evocations will increase the chance and the damage of these things. But the important thing is, you see my Sandblast is doing 2d11 damage. If I unequip that, it's doing 2d9 damage. It just increases the power by a flat amount. Plus 14% power. So I went from doing an average of, what's 2d9's average damage? Like 10, 5 twice. Now I'm doing 6 damage twice. So like I basically increased my damage by an average of 2. Which is not nothing, right? That's just way more mana efficiency, it's way more damage, and as I get other spells, it's going to be way better. For instance, Stone Arrow, I'm just going to go ahead and learn, because eventually I am going to learn it. This is my bread and butter spell as I get into the early and mid-game. I want to get this spell online relatively quickly. This spell does 3d8 damage, which is better than my Sandblast, but it would only be doing... Well, actually, it's not being effective because I'm not very good at my spells yet. But once I'm better at it, this is going to significantly increase my damage, basically. And actually, as I level up my Earth Magic skill, it's gonna even be a decent melee weapon. More boots. However, they got +2 boots, so those don't matter. Yeah, right staff type. I found 2 staffs. I found the air staff, which is completely opposite of what I'm good at. But now we're gonna go back into Earth Magic, and we're gonna get a little bit of conjuring. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get spellcasting. I want mana. Get spellcasting up to 3. I want some mana. And spellcasting. So here's the interesting thing about spells. So if you remember, I said on my melee character, fighting increases your hit points, which is critically important, but also increases your damage and your accuracy with basically every melee weapon, every martial weapon. Spellcasting is like the magic equivalent of fighting. Instead of HP, it increases mana, and instead of increasing damage and success rate with your weapons, it increases success rate with your spells. Now, it applies to all spells, but it applies at a reduced rate. 1 level of spellcasting is equivalent to 4 levels in a single school spell. In double school spells, like Stone Arrow, basically, is a conjuration and earth magic spell, compared to Sandblast, which is a earth spell. So this spell needs 2 different schools to be at like a decent level to be useful, right? Spellcasting is better for those spells because like it's applying. The best way I can put it is the XP that you put into them, all things equal, is split more on multi-school spells, so spellcasting is relatively better. XP allotment is all about like relative costs here. Like, for instance, my -1 aptitude means that my spellcasting is actually like way harder to level than my conjuration, which is a +1 aptitude. But I really need the mana right now. I really need to be able to cast more Sandblast, so we're getting it up right now. And I've hit the threshold where I'm not going to be immediately killed by a Orc Priest, so... Oh, I hate these guys. I hate these guys a lot. We're gonna go up these stairs to get my mana back. So these guys are new to this version. Time flows strangely around it by rewinding any injuries inflicted upon it unless the source of them is near enough to caught up in its time stream. I don't know exactly how that works. Here you go. Damage immune at range. This creature takes no damage by any means unless the original source of that damage is adjacent to them. So I have to get right next to this idiot to damage him, which is really dangerous as a spellcaster, but we did it. He also has Sandblast just like me, so he does the same damage I do, which is really annoying, but here we are. I leveled up again, so I got more hit points. Here's an orc. I want to be careful, because orcs often come in packs, and there could be an orc priest right behind that guy. Oh, I forgot to do my heuristic, so let's go back up the floor. I've got some scrolls. Let's use my scrolls and see what I've got. Alright, well, I found a teleport scroll, and I found an emulation scroll. Okay, well, it's good to know I have a teleport scroll if I need one. What staircase did I go down to? It's this one down here? Yeah. Alright. I found another spell. I'm probably not going to need Kinetic Grapple. Not going to worry about that. Oh, spellcasting. The last thing that spellcasting does, I mentioned it increases mana and success rate on spells, but it also gives you spell levels. If you'll notice, I have 4 spell levels right now. Every half a point in spellcasting gives you a spellcast level, I believe. It's also based on your total level. Also, you can't learn spells that have a higher level than your base character level. So I couldn't learn a level 5 spell, but you can't cast a level 5 spell at level 5 anyhow, unless there's something really weird going on. Alright, so I went up my spellcasting. Let's go level up Conjurations. Now, if I show, you'll see I have 5 spell levels now to spend. So I could learn a 5th level spell as soon as I hit level 5 now. So if you need learn more spells, you need more spellcasting. We'll grab this. I can just throw that at someone who's really far away. Scope Armor is actually really interesting. It's like a spell that gives you more AC, but based on your power and if you're not wearing heavy armor. And I'm probably never going to be wearing heavy armor in this character unless something weird happens. Alright, there's an orc. Let's back up so I don't, attract an orc priest who might be right behind him. Ooh, he threw a boomerang at me for a lot of damage. Ugh. Let's go over here. Alright, cool. Let's back up a little bit just in case. What's that? A skull pike, huh? Bones are coming inside the dungeon, huh? There's a little mini vault here. They're hiding something here. Ooh, it's like a mini orc mine. So these tiles are common around orc mines. So this is implying that the orc mines have reached this deep. A little gold cache, fun. Ooh. Oh, there's a mimic wall. Okay, it's like a hidden door. There should be hidden doors to the game, and ooh, this is dangerous. I'm gonna back up. These guys have might on them. All right, now we're in a corridor. All right, cool. All right, there we go. I didn't want to start sandblasting while they're mighted, and I might instantly die if I skip a turn. This is definitely so back in the old version of Crawl, there were secret doors all over the place. You had to press 5 and wait in every spot to find all the secret doors. This is like an homage to that. There's even food on the floor. There used to be food in the game. I'm glad those things aren't in the game anymore because they were tedious, but it's a nice little homage to old Crawl. All right, so I've got more scrolls. I found my blink scrolls. It's good. I mean, it's sad to waste a blink scroll, but it's good to know I have a blink scroll if I need it. I haven't missed any altars. I'm not going to do the Unknown God. I know exactly what God I want. Alright, Blink's level 5. How castable is my Stone Arrow? It's at 12%. It's getting there. Let's get Conjurations up to 5. Let's get Earth Magic up to 5. I really want to get Stone Arrow online. Like I said, that's my bread and butter spell. But I do need more mana to cast it. The important thing about having Stone Arrow online is I might be in a situation where I need to kill an enemy super fast, and mana efficiency isn't important. Because right now, Sandblast is super efficient, right? It's 2d13, which is less than 3d10, but it costs 1 mana instead of 3, so per mana spent, it's way better. But eventually, time is more important. Killing enemies fast is more important. And that could be any situation that comes up immediately. I gotta kill this guy this turn or I'm dead, right? So having Stone Arrow online means I can do damage faster and better. Okay, we found the Ecumenical Temple, and we are fighting the Orbs of Fire this run. That is the that's the enemy that has been in the game for ages that the other orbs are based on. Alright, so we're in the Ecumenical Temple. Here's all the gods. Here's our old friend Okawaru. I guess this temple's hey, Zen's the most important god because he's hanging out over here. But we're gonna do Vehement. Vehement is the bog standard blaster spellcaster god. As you worship him, he will give you new spells. He will give you mana whenever you kill things, making up for your mana issues. That's probably the most. I would say the most important thing about this god is getting mana when you kill things. That lets you just kind of keep spamming spells in highly enemy dense situations. Vehement aids in destructive spells, so he kind of gives you like a super effective bonus on your success rate on your spells. That's very useful, and extends the range of my destructive spells. So, for instance, you'll see how my spell has a range of 4, right? If I press a spell, 1, 2, 3, 4 squares up, Vehement will turn this into 5 squares once I get enough piety. And he gets piety by you killing things. And he taught me Magic Dart. I don't have an interest in Magic Dart. I think Sandblast and Stone Arrow are good enough. I'm not going to waste the spellcasting points on it. But as you get more piety, he will teach you better and better spells. So it kind of becomes important to level spellcasting a little bit so you don't ever end up in a situation where you can't learn a spell because you don't have the spell points on hand. But yeah, we're going to go with Vehement. And as I level up, I'm going to go ahead and equip this Amulet of Faith so I can get the piety quickly. Get my spellcasting bonuses faster. Like, I get melee range of this guy. I'm actually going to... Okay, yeah, kill him. Oh, and I will show you, so I'm level 5, I'm level 6 now. Instead of 2 AC, I've got 4 AC. So as I level up, I get more AC. So I've actually got, like, 9 AC is really good for this point in the game for a spellcaster. Oh, okay. There he is, the Orc Priest. Something I should probably do, I'm going to get stealth up to level 3, just so I don't wake up enemies as much when I turn corners. That's really important. Stealth is like an underrated skill in the game for new players. They're like, oh, what do I need? I'm not being sneaky, but you are. Like, my stealth is the reason this guy didn't wake up immediately and try to fight me, and I got a free turn on him. Stealth gives you free turns, and free turns are the most important resource in Crawl. Ooh, some gloves. I'll take 2 AC. Give me that. So my solution to that Orc Priest is I'm not going to fight him. He could kill me in 3 turns if I'm unlucky. So I'm going to clear out everything around him. What you can do is press Shift X. You can move your use the movement keys to like go over this guy and press E. And now I will never go near him when I auto explore. So I might go near the. I might want to do it on these orcs too, so I don't wake them up. Because these guys can shout and wake the Orc Priest up, and I don't like that. There we go. Now I can randomly explore. Now this is a little annoying because there might be an amazing piece of loot behind that Orc Priest, but you know, why take the risk? You can come back later when you got more hit points if you're really that worried about it. So here's some more orcs. I'm gonna back up around this corner just in case there's an Orc Priest behind them. There's an Orc Wizard. He can confuse me, but now, the main thing you're worrying about as a gargoyle is getting higher level, because like that's when your AC comes online. You become a lot stronger. Okay, I'm going to close this door. That is 2 Orc Priests. Goodbye. We are going down a floor. Those guys could kill me in 2 turns. Like if I cast Sandblast and skip a turn, I just die. Nope, not gonna do it. Ooh, chanting of funerary rites and a piss of flowing sand. Okay, well, as you can see, there's 2 different time-sensitive branches. I'm going to go to this one because it's right here, but I would go to the ossuary anyhow because I think it's the best branch for the early game. All right, so I've leveled up my spells enough that I can start getting my. What do I want now? What does armor give me right now? 0.2? Nah, I'm not gonna get 5 points of armor yet. I don't have any evocables yet, so I'm not that worried about training evocations. Let's get another spellcasting. How good is my stone arrow? I need to get earth and conjuration up more, so let's get earth up to 7. Alright, so go to the ossuary. I want to prioritize earth magic, not just because like all my, sandblast is only earth, so it's technically better. Also because like it makes my melee attacks better. Like I can hit this guy, and like when I hit him, sometimes you'll see. I don't have enough evocation. I think I need to get 1 point of evocation for it to work. But sometimes when I cast my spells, when I hit with this thing, it does extra damage because I just have earth magic trained up. But we're just gonna kill these guys with magic. let's not put a hat on a hat here. Let's just kill them with magic. These are zombies. They're too stupid to like surround me by going through the doors. So, ooh, this is dangerous. It's a bullfrog simulacrum. That's incredibly dangerous. Ooh, I don't like this. This guy's like annoying, but he's not like his damage is negative based. This is like a really scary door. I'm gonna back up a little bit. Alright. Try to kill this guy quickly. Alright, there we go. So thankfully I'm a gargoyle, so like my natural negative resistance is really good against that guy, but here's the point where just Sandblast being only 1 mana and Vehement constantly giving me mana back is being really nice right now. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've got my first Pip of Piety. Pretty quick because I have this Faith Amulet. Alright, so in the ossuary, ossuaries almost always have golds, potions, and scrolls in them. And there's always mummies in them, and they're usually in the like blast area you go to. Hey, look, some mummies, and also a spectral scorpion. That's pretty dangerous. So mummies are like more damage, like more dangerous than a regular zombie, but like not by that much. This is nice about Sandblast is it kind of just like does damage to everything, so you don't have to like. If I was like a cold mage, this would be really awkward because like cold doesn't do good damage to undead. So solemn chanting of funerary rites, of a funeral chant nearby. I'm already nearby the funerary rites. That's pretty good. So I just kind of walk around. This axe gives me resist corrosion if I need it. I'll carry that, I guess. So nearby the ossuary. So oh, here it is. Yeah, all right. So this is a. So here's the situation I was talking about. If I waste turns on this guy, he can hit me with 39 damage. That guy can just kill me. I'm going to stone arrow this guy. So I'm not wasting turns because he's extra dangerous. That's a good time to get some more hit points. He's also worth a lot of XP, so it's nice to kill him. Alrighty, here we are in the necropolis. That's what the funerary rites chant was about. So I've made both time-sensitive branches, which is nice. So what you can do is Control F, period. Is there anything in here I'm interested in? There's a blink scroll. There's a lot of money. There's a crystal quarterstaff. That could be useful. There's a artifact axe. Could be useful. Can I beat these vaults is the question, though. There's always ghosts in them. These ghosts are like potentially dangerous. This is actually pretty doable. This guy's only got 16 hit points. I can kill that guy in 1 stone arrow. This one is a little more dangerous, 54 hit points. This guy's way more dangerous. Okay, so I can definitely kill this one. I'm not worried about this one. Like, I've killed multiple of these cockroaches already. This is kind of funny because this guy's probably like a Octopode Delver, so like he might have died on floor 5 as like a level 2 character or some crap. That's why he's here. I can just kill this guy with Stone Arrow. And he gives me a bunch of XP, even though he's really weak because he's based on a character who died, who was weak but technically deep in the dungeon. That's very funny. Let's get my conjurations up to 6. Just gonna make sure my Stone Arrow is online better. Alright, so I can get this one pretty easily. Ooh, this quarterstaff's got some good resistances on it. A little resist cold if I need it. Rebuke. Shields the wearer if their last action was a melee attack. That's pretty cool. It's a new brand I'm not familiar with. Alright, so let's check out this one. This one's extra dangerous because this guy can put you to sleep. I do want that one really badly. This guy's only got 34 hit points. I can probably kill him. The dangerous part is the sleep cap might kill me. So I'm going to back up here. I'm only fighting one at a time. I'm going to try to kill these guys with Stone Arrow quickly. I can kill this guy with Sandblast, and then I can turn the corner. And these guys will not... Undead are kind of dumb. These guys are just going to, like, let me get away, and I can get my mana back just kind of hanging out over here. Alright, there's a Spectral Spider, so I can kind of go at an angle so I can... There we go, shoot my shots, and now I get a Twisted... Oh, a Wand of Digging, that was totally worth it. And that is a really nice axe. Resist cold and negative, that's pretty sick. If I need to fight someone in a fight, I might as well equip that and attack them. So I get my evocation skill up. There's a ghost still singing around. Okay, yeah. Let's blast this guy with Stone Arrow, kill him quickly. Alright, let's get this dodging up. What's my dodging at? 0.6 per level, so like... level 2 would be enough to get this up. Oh, wow, I got... Okay, well, we'll get dodging to 3 then. Well, it's like 0.6, 1.2, 2.4, 3.6 would be the point I want to stop at. But whatever, we'll get it to 3 just so I like even numbers. I naturally get AC, so like getting a little evasion is gonna be nice because evasion. You kind of want to balance your defenses, AC and evasion, as much as you can. Some characters are much more conducive to getting lots of evasion. Alright, so can I win this one? I really want that blink scroll. So I'm going to pop in here. They're going to come down this corridor. I think I can win this one, even though this guy's kind of dangerous. It's a Coglin Hunter, but he has a... Oh, this guy's got a bow, and he hits for 11 damage. This guy's pretty dangerous, actually. And this is a lot of beef to get through. This is just like a lot of hit points, right? This guy's got 54 hit points. This guy's got 27. My spell's doing an average of 3d12. I can cast it roughly 4 times before I'm out. Even if I hit every spell, would that be good enough? I really want that blink scroll. That's really nice to get. This is like a not insignificant amount of gold. Alright, I'm going to take a risk here and try to find my brilliance. Is that worth the brilliance potion? I don't know. It's probably stupid to go in here. I do have teleport scroll, so I could get away if I can miss my spells. Because like those, if I teleport here, what's going to happen is the ogre's going to move down into these squares. This guy might get one shot off on me, and then I can just shoot the ogres, and then it's me versus him. And if that gets bad, I could probably teleport away. I do have a magic potion I could spend too. Alright, I really want that blink scroll. So we're gonna... Ooh, this guy went around. That's dangerous. Alright, so we're gonna get my... Let's get my fighting up. Alright, I don't want to fight 2-on-1. Alright, I am in danger now. This guy can do 11. I've got 27 hit points and some AC. I'm going to get my mana back and try to stone arrow this guy to death. Okay, what I can do here, just run away, pick up the Linking Scroll, shoot this guy. There we go, alright. What's this guy holding? He was holding a... I don't care about that. And I can just teleport out now that I've got my loot. Basically, I traded a mana potion and a teleport scroll for a blink scroll. That's almost certainly worth it. There's nothing else here, right? It's just like this guy's got half his hit points left, and I got no mana left. He's almost dead. They're just like, just trying to hit him. Get my Sandblast back. Hit him. Hit him. Hit him. Hit him. Hit him. Sandblast. Okay, I won the fight. Okay, cool. I was prepared to like teleport away, but we're good. That was maybe a little risky. There was like, I really wanted that blink scroll though, and like I could have gotten away with just teleport, but like I killed the ogre, and then that guy wasn't nearly as dangerous. It's like I've got decent AC and decent evasion. All right, well we cleared out a few. I don't typically clear out necropolises; they're kind of dangerous, but like this is a pretty strong character, and you saw it there. Just the Earth Staff making my damage really efficient. I do want to get my spellcasting up. Mephitic Cloud, I would definitely want to learn that. Thanks for the Mephitic Cloud. You need to keep an eye on your Vehement blessings, but yeah, Mephitic Cloud's a really great, useful, like, all-arounder spell. We're gonna get, like, 2 points in... So I'm really bad at alchemy and air magic, but Mephitic Cloud is good enough that it's worth getting the points in it. Alright, now we just kind of go through the level. Hey, a cloak! I will take some free AC. Bada bing. Alright, so there's an orc, which could be an orc priest, though I am a lot stronger now. Now that I've got Stone Arrow online, let's go back to those orc priests upstairs. Like, I'm a lot stronger now. Like, I got stronger very quickly. I got 54 hit points. Yeah, I think I can kill them. I can clear this. So I can go here and clear these little things. Make sure I'm not missing any cool loot. I do want to come in at an angle where I can kill the Orc Priest pretty quickly, though, so I'd like to go in from the top here. And that guy probably shouts, which brings the Orc Priest to me, but he's going to be the next in line. Yeah, so let him come around this corner, wait some turns, and Stone Arrow him. There we go. I'm a lot stronger now, so There we go. Hey, and there was a scroll there that I might have missed otherwise. And let's go clear these. Alright, so let's go over here. Hello, slime. How high should I level shield skill for buckler on a caster? I think it's like... So, you can... have I found a shield? So what you can do is you can right-click, or like inspect your item. I forget the key to like check your items. You can control... You can shift D, or you just press D, and then like look at your items. But basically, you can right-click an item, and it'll tell you what it changes your spellcasting capability to. So, like, if I look at a different body armor, that's probably a better example. So, if I right-click this, if I change my body armor, it'll tell me your spell failure would worsen by 86%. So, when you take off your shield, if you right-click it, or actually, I think you just right-click it in general, it'll tell you what your spell failure rate is. You kind of want to get your shield down to a point where it says, like, either 1% or trivial failure rate. That's when you're good on buckler. That's true for all shields and all armor. That's how you determine, like, I'm a caster, can I equip this gear? No, I need to improve my skill before I can equip it. Alright, so I'm going to blast this guy. Then I'm going to turn the corner, so they can only come at me one at a time here. Stone arrow, stone arrow. Give me all that sweet, sweet money. A poison dagger is actually pretty good. Alright, so I've cleared out that area I was super afraid of, because I'm not as afraid of it anymore. And the way I'm kind of playing this gargoyle is kind of typical for a lot of spellcasters, in the sense that you kind of need a little bit of stealth to survive, so you don't wake things up and get in fights that your mana can't carry. You gotta get some hit points, because a lot of spellcasting races, or spellcast favoring races, are very squishy, so getting hit points is a way to get around not having good AC. And getting your spells online. So actually, I can now I can get Brahm's Barreling Boulder online. This is a very fun spell. It falls off very quickly, but it will clear a layer for you. I'm going to demonstrate the spell as soon as I can. I need to get my spellcasting up a little bit, but not by a lot to get this online. Let's see if I can do it here. So, the way Brahm's Barreling Boulder works, it says, you summon a rock next to you, and then it kind of goes the direction that you fired it, and it pushes enemies back and does damage to them consistently as you cast it, So, watch it here. Oh, I miscast. Well, we're going up these stairs so I don't get killed. I miscast on the 6% immediately. Plastic. Let's see if I can do it here. Alright, well, there's a lot of guys here. Let's go up these stairs. Let's try going down these stairs. Alright, this is a little better. Okay, so I'm going to try to demonstrate here. So it's going to hit this guy. And so it loses hit points as it moves next to any walls. So you can't cast it down a corridor. Otherwise it'd be broken. But it hits these guys and it pushes them back. And it does less damage than my Sandblast, but it does it every turn, every time it hits a guy. So I press the S button and wait. You'll see it moves through that guy, and it ran over an orc and killed it. Now the other guys moved around it, so it's not killing anyone anymore. But still to keep going until I can't see it anymore. It's a really fun spell, but it's not like... The problem is enemies can hit it and do damage to it and kill it. And once they do that, once they can do that quickly, like if they can kill it in one hit, it's no longer a usable spell in those situations. You can play with it a little bit, so like the ideal thing to do is to cast it when the enemies are 2 squares away from you, because you cast it now. So you cast it here, the enemy moved, and then it moved, and it hit the enemy immediately. So like, the best way I can explain it is, you waste the enemy's turn moving 1 square towards you, and then the boulder hits them, and it starts moving them back. But if you cast it down a corridor, and I'll demonstrate it, like, I'll find a corridor real quick. Maybe upstairs is a little better corridor. Can I find a corridor? Here we go, here's a good one. So if I cast it down here, it'll kind of like instantly start dying, because I'm shooting it down a quarter. See, it's already lost like a quarter of its hit points. It's lost like half its hit points moving down these 5 walls. It kind of bounces against them and dies. So you can't shoot it down corridors, and that's a balance reason. Because like you could shoot down corridors to constantly knock enemies back, and they can't ever go around it. It would be insane, but it's still really good. So you use it in open spaces to push dangerous enemies back. So here's a great place to use it. This ogre is very scary. He's now 2 spaces away from me, I press the boulder. You kind of like let enemies get closer to you and cast it anyhow, because this guy's not strong enough to kill it, so like I can do it when he's only 1 square away. I do it again. So it's weird against phantoms because they can blink away from it, but you know. There's caveats to every spell. That was that caveat. Frozen Ramparts is a very strong spell, but I don't think I'm going to need it this game. The nice thing about the barrel of the boulder is it's very mana efficient. It's only 4 mana one time, and it's going to do 2d9, 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 right? Like, for 1 mana, I can do roughly 10d9 damage. And stay safe. So it's also like good against multiple enemies, because like you can push back multiples of them and knock them into each other. It's a very interesting, like, tactical spell. Like, Stone Arrow and Sandblaster just, like, point and click, do damage. This is, like, very positioning-based. It's a... I mean, it is also a little bit point and clicky, but it does work at angles, too. So, like, if I come here, you can do it diagonally. Ring of Sling? Sure, I'll equip that. Punch a guy. So yeah, that's the Braum Throwing Boulder, and I've actually trained a little bit of Alchemy, so I might be able to get this Petrify on one soon. As Pathetic Cloud castable? Yeah, it's at 2%, good. We're gonna get 1 more point of spellcasting. Just to make sure I have enough spell, you know, I'm leveling up, because I have this Piety Amulet, I'm getting the Humit gifts very quickly. So I want to make sure I have enough spellcasting to learn any important ones. Here's whites. There's a bunch of them. I'm resistant to their damage, though, so I'm not that scared of these guys. They do, like, drain damage on top of their heavily enchanted weapons. But I'm resistant to those things, and I've got good AC for this point in the game. Like, 14 AC on a spellcaster is really good. Like, my Minotaur probably didn't have this much AC on XL level 9 without equipping, like, evasion-reducing plate mail or something. This guy's got a fucking wand of warping. Ugh. I need to go up the stairs and kill this guy quickly so he doesn't do that again. There we go. Give me that wand. I want it. Now that I've got a couple of good wands, I'm going to get some evocation skills too, so let's get this up to like 3. I'm not that worried about leveling these things at the same time. They'll all kind of go up with it. Like, I've got everything I need online, so those are just the things I'm getting online next, so I might as well do them at the same time for me. I don't need Flame Wave. It's like, you see this blue thing, it's like the gift that the Humit's constantly giving me. There's like kind of a time-sensitive nature to it. You need to be able to learn it before the next gift comes online, but I don't need these spells, and I wouldn't learn them anyhow, so I'm not worried about them. Eventually, the nice thing about Vehement is you eventually just get like some free level 9 spells, and that's like game-winning spells. And guaranteeing yourself game-winning spells is nice, because sometimes they don't spawn on the floor, you can't get them. Bees are super dangerous, but I'm resistant to poisons, so once I get down a corridor, they're not like stabbing me to death. They're not that dangerous. Same for gnolls, they used to be dangerous, not anymore. I'm past the null worry state. Alright, I got all these scrolls, let's start using them. Identify scroll, cool. Let's identify all the... Ooh, I found acquirement. Ooh, boy. Ooh, mama. I like finding acquirements. Let's click acquirement and see what I got. Ooh, a pair of gloves that give me will and regen? That is awesome. That's like gloves I can wear for the rest of the game. Yeah, I don't need that rapier. Our ring of protection wouldn't be bad, but like, this is already plus 2 AC anyhow, so this is kind of like a ring of protection. Well, I had a plus 1 pair of gloves, but I'll take the will and the regen. That's just nice. And I'll probably find a better ring eventually anyhow. Awesome pair of gloves. Now I've got decent willpower for this point in the game. Hey, another time-sensitive branch. There's a Bailey on the floor. So if I press Control O, I did the ossuary, I did the Necropolis, and now there's a Bailey hanging out. So I really want to find a Bailey, because Baileys often have scrolls of acquirement. You just saw how good that scroll of acquirement was. Just kind of move around, make sure I'm close to my staircase. So I know like the direction of the Bailey from the staircase. It's distant. Let's see if I go down, does it stay distant? I forgot to identify one of the scrolls. Whoops. Oh well. Very distant. Okay, so I've gotten further away. We're gonna go west. Hello, Maurice. I hate this guy because he steals your loot, but I can just nuke him to death. Yeah, die. That's what I want. A flame. I'll take that. Yeah. There's the Bailey. Cool. We found it. Baileys are a little dangerous for a caster because, like, there's frequently ranged weapons in them, and your range is more limited than the enemy's range. But Tyrant's traps. I do have these wands, and I do have my own ranged options as long as I can get like within 5 spaces of them, which is good. I don't really care about those boomerangs. Also have a sling ring equipped, so my so hippogriffs are super dangerous. They can like suck you towards them with a beckoning gale. I'm gonna throw this boomerang at this guy, get him to come towards me. Let's fight so the hippogriff doesn't see me. So I'm gonna shoot this guy with a little bit of fire so he gets stuck into steam. Got these wands, I might as well use them. This is like a perfect opportunity with these wands because like I'm hitting this guy with the spell and also putting a steam cloud on him, which does extra damage. So the nice thing about the hippogriff is it can't open the door, but some other guys have already opened the door for it. Ugh. But I would be sucked out of position. Alright, so we're gonna back up to this water. The other nice thing about the water is if an enemy is standing in it, they have a chance to miss their melee attacks. This guy's standing in the steam, so he's just taking extra damage for free. Oh, I messed up my thing. I gotta get my sandblast back on my thing. Alright, so I need to be careful when I turn this corner because there's a hippogriff. I need to kill it quickly before it beckons me into a bunch of enemies. So stone arrow is for. Oh. Oh, these guys triggered an alarm trap. Okay, we're gonna go to a point where these guys cannot travel through the heavy water. So once I get here, they can no longer pass this area. So, and I don't care about the water because I'm not attacking them in melee. I'm casting spells. Ooh, there's the griffin. I need to kill that guy. I need to. All right, so this is a dangerous situation. What I need to do is get out of the dangerous situation. So I'm going to pop a scroll of summoning, which is going to make a bunch of guys who are just going to be meat shields for me while I kill this freaking griffin. I don't like using a scroll of summoning, but you know, this is the dangerous place for it. Alright, so now there's a bunch of enemies in a pile over here. I can mephitic cloud them. They'll be confused, they might walk into each other and hurt each other. This meth cloud is like a poisonous gas cloud, but it doesn't do damage, it confuses them. But that's just as good sometimes, because when you got a big group of enemies like this, they will literally walk into each other and kill each other on accident. The most important thing is that they're not charging me. That's why you learn Meth Cloud, everybody. Ooh, Yara's Violent Unraveling, I really want to learn that. That's a super powerful spell for later in the game. I can't cast it right now, but eventually. Ooh, Boots of Flying. I'm actually probably never going to wear those. I'll carry them in case I need them before I hit level 14, but once I hit level 14, I naturally get flying, so. This is one of the worst ones because like it gives you flying stuff. I guess a Storm Talisman they don't care about, but it gives you flying stuff so you can pick up these boomerangs, I guess. If I was a boomerang using character, this would be sweet, but pretty mediocre loot, all things considered. I mean, I don't think anything needs a Storm Talisman, but I'll carry it just in case. Alright, let's equip my better AC boots. Let's drop this stuff I don't need. I got given this Arbalest. This is like one of the top 3 ranged weapons in the game, behind like Punk and Mule. It's a Arbalest that shoots damnation. Any ammunition fired from it explodes in a burst of damnation on striking, dealing damage which bypasses armor. It's really hard to get this online. As you see, it's got a really low base delay. You can only ever attack 1.0 with it, which is criminally slow. But it's like one of the best damaging weapons in the game because it just does a bunch of free AoE damage. I kind of want to show it off in like a single attack. Maybe I could like find one enemy and just shoot them with it to show you what it looks like from a distance. That guy's too close. Here we go. Here's some guys. You see, I shot that guy and he exploded. I shot this guy. It's got a chance to explode. Bam, it exploded. You see how strong this is? I have no range skill right now. I have none. You see how strong this is? This is honestly so strong that if I wasn't doing a hey, here's how magic works run. Man, I really want. This is an item you could build your entire game around. It's so good. I mean, I'm talking about how that Bailey sucked, but it gave me one of the best items in the game. We're still doing spellcasting though. This is a spellcaster run. Honestly, spellcasting is probably still better because it's not taking 2 turns for me to do it like that Herbalist, but like, if I find a manual of ranged weapons, I might just like have it online just to have it online. I could swap to it and like do a ton of range damage if I need to. But you see, I already do lots of really good range damage, right? There's Spraws. So he like summons guys, but I can just like boulder this guy to death. Like he'll start summoning guys, but if you throw a boulder at him, it interrupts him and he just dies. Very funny. Let's get some more HP. Spear of Poison would be pretty cool, but not now. So we've got enough evocation. There's like a math formula for your evocation on your staff and your earth skill. I can actually go look it up right now. I'm going to look up Staff of Earth. So guys, I'm alt-tabbed here looking at my, there's a thing called the DCSS Wiki, the Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup Wiki, which has all the info on it. It's just taking a little second to load here. Alright, so what's the math on it? I'm sorry, I'm doing a little math off screen right here. DCSS. It's like all staffs have like this natural percentage chance. So what's my skills at? My skills are 3 Evo and 12 Earth Magic. Like this little formula, like evocation divided by 2 plus Earth Magic is the damage. So like 1.5 plus 12, so 13.5. So 1.5 that. So half again of functionally 14. So 20 to 21 damage. So I'm doing 0 to 21 damage when I proc. And my chance to proc is evocations plus Earth divided by 2. So that's 3 plus 6 times 6.66. So 9 times 6.66. We're at 60% chance to proc. And every 1 point of Evo gives me 6% more. So like a couple more points of Evo will basically make me a competent melee fighter with just this Earth Staff. So it's probably worth it to get like 2 more points of Evo. It's not like Evo's useless, obviously. One of the nice things about Vahuma is Vahuma does not need invocations, so that's like just free XP. Other gods would. And then once that happens, I can kind of like train, like I can just hit things with my staff pretty reasonably. That's a Scroll of Fear. That's a Scroll of Noise. Alright, cool. Alrighty, so I'm basically at a 60% chance to do a decent amount of damage. And like, if you think about it, an average of 11 damage on attack for a weapon that's only doing 9 damage base, but like, if you're saying 20 damage, that's not a bad damage amount for a character at level 10 in Dungeon 8 for a melee. Also, staffs are like relatively fast attacking, 0.6 attack, so they kind of scale well with like the flat damage that these give to them. So when you're a spellcaster, one of the most dangerous things in the game are long distance guys who do damage. This guy does 19 damage at distance, so I'm kind of like playing the sight game here until I can get into melee with him and then just blast him with spells. There's nothing scarier than like turning the corner into a freaking Yaktar or something. Hey, it's Pickle! Pickle's like a whole bunch of XP if I need it. I can almost just jars him, but... So he's super dangerous. I think I fought him in my last game. He's like got a bunch of lemurs who just like soak damage for him, but like I gotta bring him down this corridor. I'm just gonna stone arrow. So I just have the mana and I can take this guy out at this point. Yeah. Pretty snazzy. If I found a shield, because I would like to... Nah, not yet. More boots I don't need. Oh, this guy's pretty close. Let's shoot him away with a boulder. And just the boulder instantly kills him and gets him a distance. Okay, so here's where boulder's really going to shine. Yaks always come in packs. Oh, crap, there's a... Dang it. Okay, can I... Kill that guy quickly. Okay, well, damn it, now there's a fucking centaur. Alright, so I'm going to boulder this guy and break line of sight. Then I can stone arrow this guy, kill him quickly, kill this guy, and then I can boulder this guy away from me. Back up one square, boulder this guy away from me. Bam, okay. You see, the boulder just gave me space, and that's the important thing here. It gave me space to maneuver in that position. I was going to just demonstrate how it takes out groups of enemies, but like the fact that it gave me technically an ally who was blocking line of sight to that centaur, so I could move at an angle, so he would have to move closer to me, and then I could start shooting him with my stone arrows. That's what the spell's good, and that's why it's good. Like I said, eventually I'm probably not gonna learn it anymore because it's not gonna be useful in the mid to late game, but like it's so useful now for that exact reason. Sandblast these guys. Hey, a helmet. I don't have a helmet. Oh, this is like the best helmet possible. A helmet of intelligence. You see, intelligence increases your spellcasting power and ability. So you'll see I only have a 36% chance to cast this spell. But when I equip this helmet of just +3 int, that 36 becomes 30%, right? You can see, like, that's a big increase in capability of casting. Conjure Lightning is not good for me. Conjure Ball Lightning, I'm not an air mage. I'm an earth elementalist. Gargoyles are really bad at earth magic. Ooh. So here's an enemy that you're supposed to be really wary of, right? It's a two-headed ogre. This guy just does a ton of damage. If this guy's close to me, he can basically one-shot me. But what I can do is lure him out and just start casting bombs, barreling boulder. So the perfect place to cast this is 2 squares away. He moved forward. So this guy actually attacks twice and hits hard, so he can kill my boulder, but not before it pushes him away a little bit. Bam, dead. Just a sack of XP for me, too. I love that. Let's get Conjurations up, because most of the human spells are Conjuration. Let's get like another point in Alchemy for my Yaras. That guy's dangerous in melee fights, so we're going to back up. Bam, dead. Trog hates magic. It's a scorpion closet. Alright. Guess that orc was keeping a bunch of pets in a little cage there. Very fun. Erica's very dangerous. She does fire damage. She does Venom Bolt too. So I'm immune to poison, so that's not relevant, but she could slow me, which would be relevant. So I'm gonna... She also turns invisible, which is really annoying. Alright, so I know which direction she's in, because, you know, that's like the only way she can come. So I'm gonna wait a couple turns so she gets closer to me. Then I'm gonna boulder her. And she's always going to be online with this boulder. So even though I had an invisible enemy who I would be really inaccurate with my regular spell, I just throw a boulder at her. She's in those squares. Boulder killed her. And I will take a Ring of Protection. Heck yes, that's awesome. Let's give me ZV. I'm not hitting anyone, so I'm never going to use this Ring of Slang, so we can go ahead and drop that. There we go. I'm singing the praises of boulder. Oh, I've got this Helmet of Intelligence. I've got this... These enchant armor scrolls, we're definitely using those here. I can imagine myself using that helmet for a long time. Easy AC. And I'm already at 23 AC, which is, like, pretty good. I think it's, like, better AC than my Minotaur had up until I found that crystal armor. Shows you how good gargoyles are. Yeah, +8 free AC right now. I'm still in a robe, you know. I can still equip, like, leather armor. See, Hydras are very good against the boulder because they attack multiple times. Like, they can hit it. But if I get in an angle here... I can shoot him with a couple stone arrows. Ooh, boggarts are super dangerous. I want to back up to here. Stone arrow, boulder. Of course, I miscast on a 1% when I didn't need it to happen. All right, so we are in danger. This guy is super dangerous, so I'm going to try to warp him away. I succeeded. Okay, so now I know there's a boggart here. I know he's really annoying. I can risk a 26% miscast to blow up his summon and hurt him a lot. Or I can start using up these evocables I have. I'm going to try one Yara's. And I failed. Okay. It's time to go down this corridor. Alright, we are down the corridor. So there's a boggart here. I can just tell by the way the invisible token was moving. I'm going to pop a meth cloud here. So now that boggart's going to like accidentally run into the Hydra. Meth cloud's a good escape tool for this exact reason. I'm going to drop another meth cloud in this hallway. Confused guys coming after me. And we're out of there. Alright, we made it to safety. Let's try a different staircase. This guy's... Hey, it's Gargoyle. What's up, buddy? We're going to have a stone arrow fight. I win. Still on Conjure Ball Lightning. Drop 3 floors? I haven't even found Lair yet. Okay. Do I have Rev Scrolls? I do not have Rev Scrolls. Okay, so we are in extreme danger right now. There's a bunch of... Oh, hey, a staircase up. It's a hatch. I don't like a hatch because I don't know... I can't go back down. Close this door. Walk away. I do not want that smoke. Teleport trap. Damn, these hallways are terrible. I can kill this guy. Oh, fucking Centaur Warrior. Can I meth cloud him before he kills me? Okay, I meth clouded him. I need to get around a corner, close the door, wait for these guys to chase me down. And now I can maybe kill this guy? He's got 60 hit points. I gotta meth cloud him so he doesn't... I missed my meth cloud, obviously. Okay, now I can try to stone arrow this guy to death. While he's confused. Alright, cool. God, I have nowhere good to go, dude. Like, this is just a hallway straight into a freaking Centaur Warrior. Oh, the Tingo accidentally killed the Centaur Warrior in the Meth Cloud. Sick. Thank you, Meth Cloud. Alright, there's a staircase up. There's a Hippogriff, which can pull me into all those dangerous enemies. We are not going to go down there. We're going to wait for these guys to come around and fight me. Alright. Can I kill this elf before he starts summoning fire elementals? Meth Cloud. Let's do the Meth Cloud on this invisible guy because he's annoying. Alright, we handled that pretty well. This is why I learned Meth Cloud. It way overperforms its level 3. I mean, there's a reason it's a 3-school spell. A 3-school spell is way harder to learn than a 2-school spell, which is way harder to learn than a 1-school spell. But you've seen how amazing it is so far. Nothing important here. So I'm gonna see if I can go up the staircase and find my way back up from that freaking shafting. Okay, there's another staircase up. Anything good? Okay, I can beat a vampire with a Brahms barreling boulder. No talisman. We're not doing talismans this run. This guy does a lot of fire damage, which is not good because I have no fire resistance. And another staircase up. Okay, we made it back. Woo, thank you. This is annoying. This guy has like magical damage that just kind of bypasses my AC. He also vitrified me, which makes it like frail. Alright, this guy is not immune to poison, so we're gonna to confuse him. Well, it didn't even work, but we got there. Alright, so got that boggart before he can spawn a bunch of jerks. We're gonna Meth Cloud here. Meth Cloud right next to me, so he can't charge me without going into it. I'm immune to Meth Cloud. Meth Cloud's so good on Gargoyle because I'm immune to poison. Now, this guy can paralyze me at a 20% clip. Alright, well, you're getting Meth Clouded. And we're running away to get our mana back. Up the stairs to safety. Woo! Up Up the stairs to safety again, Jesus. And of course another ranged enemy I don't want to mess with unless I'm in range to cast my spells. Another meth cloud. Gotta kill this guy before he can... I'm gonna go up a staircase so I can only fight. So I have to only fight one of these guys at a time. Where's another staircase? There we go. This is why you manage your staircases, everybody. Retreat is important. Alright, so I can meth cloud this, and that'll confuse the beetle, and the beetle can kill these other guys for me. Let that guy roll into nothing. One more meth cloud. There you go. Back up a little bit, get my mana back. A couple stone arrows at that guy and punch him with my staff. Alright, my conjurations are pretty good now. I never set my thing though, so I should EL12. Let's get this up. Pretty good at conjuration, which is the main spell school of damage. The spell schools are all pretty self-explanatory. I probably should have explained that at the beginning, but we're doing earth magic. But if I look at them up, so conjurations are like all your blasty damaging spells for the most part. Basically everything I've been casting so far is conjuration, unless it's pure earth like sandblast. All the elemental schools, fire does fire magic, makes sense, right? Ice does cold magic, makes sense. Air does lightning and air magic. Those two are generally related. Alchemy is like poison and gas clouds and things that change forms. So Yar's Violent Unraveling is an alchemy spell, for instance. Translocation is like blink-based spells, spells like warp space. You can create portals with it. Forgecraft is like a... Let's go. Summonings is more easy to explain. It summons guys. It summons allies who help you fight. Forgecraft is like the mechanical version of that. Basically, it's like, they used to just have summonings, but like there were too many good summoning spells, so they split it into Forgecraft and summonings. Forgecraft kind of wants you to hang by your guys and fight with them up in close combat, but like, they're functionally very similar, because they both summon things that do damage for you most of the time. Necromancy raises undead and does negative damage, and Hexes, like, applies debuffs. And there you go, that's the full gamut of the spell schools. Should explain that at the beginning, but here we are. Oop, here's another high damage ranged enemy. Let's turn the corner. Get melee with him, so he tries to punch me instead of throw rocks at me. Alright, so we're pretty good on this. Let's get spellcasting up one more. I should probably start getting more hit points too. Let's get hit points up to 10. That's a boggart. I really don't want to mess with the boggart. Was that an unseen one? That's an unseen horror. Okay. So like I go down this corridor. Okay. What I can do is just cast at this blank spot. If you can't see an enemy, it won't let you auto cast. You can push Shift Z and then choose your spell, and it'll let you cast. I believe unseen ones are susceptible to poison, but they're really annoying, is what I'm going to say. And because they're so fast, you can't like predict them with the boulder. Like if I throw a boulder here, it'll have already moved out of the way. I'm gonna start blasting this guy with like wands, because like these are guaranteed damage. All right, I killed him. Cool. It'll tell you when you kill something, your auto pickup will go back on. You can start pressing go again. Ooh, an amulet. I don't have an amulet. It's an artifact. Oh, I do have an amulet, but it's faith. But it's a better faith amulet. I'll sacrifice a little bit of Vehement Faith to get my MP. Yeah, 5 MP and 3 int. That's a spellcasting amulet if I've ever seen one. Ooh, Ring of Wizardry. That's way better than Dex. So now my Yar's Violent Unraveling, ooh, goes up to 28% from 57%. I did lose Vehement Faith from that, equipping that, so that's going to affect my spellcasting, but I've got an Amulet of Faith on, so it's going to go up quickly. A Elijah Tongue of Speed? That's like one of the best damage weapons in the game. I'm already training staves. This might just be my in-game weapon. This does so much damage, dude. So speed is probably the best brand in the game besides very unique brands like the Arbalist I was showing you. And this is kind of already within my realm of use because I could already like reasonably train staves. Speed is just the brand that says you attack twice as fast. Its normal base delay is 0.6, I believe, so now it's going down to 0.4. It's just so fast. And if you haste yourself, this goes down to like 0.015 or 0.15 speed, which is insane. That's a really, really good weapon, and it's worth thinking about, is all I'm going to say. This guy netted me, what a jerk. Kill him before the net matters, though. I want to get to Lair. Have I found Lair yet? I have not. Wow. It's got to be here somewhere. My goal was to get to Lair on this character before we call it a night. I have not found it yet, so... Haven't even found mines either. Alright, so there's a lot of guys here. Even though I'm immune to poison, it's just still a lot of guys attacking me, so we're going to drop a meth cloud to stop them from attacking me. It just confuses them, and they won't attack me if they're confused. Or they're less likely to attack me if they're confused. Wolves on dungeon often means Grum, who's like a not too dangerous unique monster. Or Lair, yeah, Lair's another option. So we can boulder this guy, shoot this guy, shoot this guy, shoot this guy. There's Cyclops, let's try to kill him fast before he throws a rock at my head. Have I found any good body armor? Oh, I missed a robe of cold resistance and a robe of willpower. I need to equip those. I haven't been paying attention to my armor very well. I forgot, like, I'm still wearing basic-ass robe. I'll take some willpower. Willpower's good. And I'll go get that cold resistance. That's just free to carry around. Is there any other good armor worth looking at? Not really. Okay. Alright, so I finally found Lair. I got resist electricity, so I'm not that worried about that guy. I found mines. Okay, we found the two early mid-game dungeons. Let's kill that dragon before he messes me up. Alright, so that electric eel made a lot of noise by shooting its little electricity blasts at me, so... There he is. Boom, killed him. There's that beetle again. Confuse him so he doesn't roll at me. Or he's going to roll at me even though he's confused. There we go, he rolled away. Good. These guys are susceptible to poison, so like just throwing poison darts at them is really effective. Stack up a bunch of poison on them and then shoot them. Fire crab? I don't have any resist fire. Yeah, I'm not going in here. Yeah, fuck that. Let's not fight the super dangerous... There's probably like some cool loot in here, but until I get resist fire, that is not worth going into. Alright, so we have hit the early mid-game. My goal was to get to Lair by the end of the stream on this character, and we did it. So we finished up our Minotaur today, and we got to Lair. Pretty successful crawl day, if I say so myself. Let's use up these identify scrolls so I can find out what I got going on. Alright. And we are good to go. Alright, decent little gear list here, too. Like, there's a couple of weapons here you could build an entire character around, and I found a Staff of Earth, which is really good on an Earth Elementalist. And a pretty good set of gloves. Regen and Will's really solid. Other than that, nothing special. You know, Wizardry, Protection, a decent Faith Amulet, which is cool for getting my Poon up quickly. And yeah, we're doing pretty good. Check my spell list before I go. This is like, it's important to look at your spell list, because like, you need to find spells that can get you past Lair. Because like, the spell list I got is pretty good for Lair. Like, Boulder and Meth Cloud and the basic damage spells, these are pretty good for clearing Lair. But you need stuff that's going to be way more effective against way stronger enemies and bigger groups of enemies. And that's when you need to start looking for spells. I haven't found any shops that have spells, right? Nope. Alright, so we'll be on the lookout for spells, but that'll be next time when we stream Crawl, and we'll get back to Three-Tone, the Geomancer. Thanks for stopping there. Bye, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it, and the Crawl streams have been fun for me, even though it's not the most active stream. Obviously, most of my viewer base is not Crawl-based, but it's still like a game I love a lot, and it's fun to share it with people who aren't familiar with it. Hope y'all enjoyed, and I will see you next time on the Saturday Crawl streams.